The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey.
What?
Let's go!
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for.
Ah!
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers, you pig!
Stop! Damn it!
Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life.
Sport!
Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this Feel-Good Friday, May 31st, 2024. This program starts right now.
Sports!
Man, they're the greatest thing on earth, aren't they?
Hell yeah.
Last night, there was multiple playoff games in two different leagues, and I'll tell you what, it was a beautiful evening. Not only did the Dallas Mavericks just beat the shit out of the Minnesota Timberwolves to win that series and advance to the NBA Finals against the Boston Celtics starting next week, the Florida Panthers go into New York and take a 3-2 series lead after a 3-2 game winner. And I will say this, for a time in sports in which they aren't our leagues, we can't thank sports enough for being as electrifying as they are being. Because even in the blowout of the Minnesota Timberwolves last night, there was enough to watch to make you stay interested in the game. Mostly, Luka Doncic saying to himself, everybody's talking about the next face of the NBA. Everybody has every other name that they want to be up there as the new one that's going to carry the NBA. Wemby, this guy's an alien. Ant-Man, this guy's a dog. He's the guy. Hey, maybe Tatum or Jaylen Brown or maybe anybody except for this particular fella who just went absolutely bonkers. He was hitting shots literally from the logo, so you got to guard him out tight. But then he has enough moves to go inside and hit you in the paint. He's talking shit the entire time. And Snoop Dogg's watching the game, and all he can literally do a couple different times is like, what is this guy playing? He's playing a different sport than everybody else. Then you tag team alongside Kyrie. Luka outscored the Minnesota Timberwolves in the first quarter. Luka and Kyrie outscored the Minnesota Timberwolves in the entire first half. It was a blowout literally from the beginning all the way through. But congrats to the Dallas Mavericks making it to the finals, banking home shots like that, skipping away on 1 foot. If those are going to continue to fall, we're going to have a great series with this Boston Celtics team that has been phenomenally dominant through the Eastern Conference of this entire playoff series. Most recently sweeping a very talented and gritty Indiana Pacers squad. I think we're in for a good one. Doesn't start till next week though, because both of these things ended so quickly, and obviously with TV schedules and yada yada yada. So the boys should be feeling good. They should be rested up, and we should be in for a great one. Now we are staring down at time.
Oh, yeah.
Big
It's
time.
right around the corner.
Boy,
I don't love it at all.
A couple weeks away.
So let's make sure we enjoy the hell out of this right now. The Toxic Table is here at Boston Connor and at Ty Schmidt. You got a Trippin' Balls Wolf on your shirt. I love that.
Yeah. Again, just reached in purple. Feel Good Friday. I thought, I'll wear a purple shirt today. I love the color purple.
That's literally the only reason why you
That is for shoot.
Okay.
The only reason why I grabbed it. It happened to be this one. There are multiple purple shirts, but I just decided, you know what? I like that shade of purple.
Hey, go Plum Mustangs. One half of the Hammer.
Dahn.
Cowboys. Tone Diggs is here. Now, Tone, hockey obviously going to remain exciting over the next couple of days, but basketball takes a break for about 5 days or so, a week or whatever it is. It's like, are we going to get bummed out? What are we going to be, just gamble on baseball? Is that what you're going to be doing?
Yeah, we're still on the first 5 train. We've been doing it all year. But
Wait, explain, please.
First 5 for baseball is instead of betting the full game, the full 9 innings, you only have to bet the first 5. So the winner after the first 5.
Which is normally the aces taking each other on, so you have a little bit more information on who's going to be playing, who's not going to be playing. You don't need to know what the bullpen's going to do because the starter should be finishing at least 5 innings, because that's how long it takes to document a win or a loss.
Exactly. A little less research, so you can just look at the starting pitchers. You don't have to see who in the bullpen pitched yesterday or the day before. Are they not going today? And then the opposing hitters. So, yeah, that's going to come more to the forefront here after these finals and stuff ends. And that's really all you got. Well, actually, we got a nice little summer coming up. So now I don't know how everyone feels about it, but we got the Euros of soccer to bet on.
The Europes.
We also have the Summer Olympics this summer. So it's actually, as far as summers go,
best in
Best case scenario.
In 4 years,
Yeah.
at least. So we're pumped about that, obviously. And you talk about aces. We'll have Paul Skenes and Jared Jones of the Pittsburgh Pirates, the Hunter Boys, the Allegheny Electric Company, Pittsburgh, I believe. Jeff Passett might have slipped in yesterday, or he just was choking on something while he was talking.
Sure.
And he said Pittsburgh. We'll be talking both the guys that are throwing over 100 miles an hour for the Pittsburgh Pirates and bringing hope and optimism to a town that hated the sport for a long time back. And it should be a blast. We never talk to two people at the same time unless it's a Japanese man who doesn't speak a lot of English. He has an interpreter next to him.
Right.
We'll be talking to both the Hunter Boys at the same exact time. Normally these suck. I'm going to say it. But I think with the way these two have been working together perfectly in unison, as two rookies that are taking over the MLB, two different fashions, one fresh out of college, one's been around a little bit. It is his rookie campaign still. So I think it'll go well. We'll also have Paul Bissonnette joining us of Spit and Chicklets podcast and also TNT's NHL coverage in the second hour. We'll also have Michael Lombardi joining us in about 10 minutes to chit-chat about OTAs and what needs to be chatted about in the NFL that's real and what's not real. And joining us right now is a man who every time he comes on here, he just preaches that gospel.
That's right.
What an incredible guest.
So smart.
The person that I hear most say from friends and people I run into, they go, I hated Austin Rivers. That guy was the worst.
Yep.
Duke guy, bullshit guy.
Right. Nepotism.
Hate this guy.
Because of his dad, they said.
And then they say, hey, he comes on your show. I love that guy.
He's the
Absolutely
best.
love
That guy's awesome. That's a guy you need to have on your show more often.
Amen.
What a babyface turn for him. Ladies and gentlemen, Austin Rivers. That's what people say, dude. A lot of that.
The intros are just getting better and better. I love it every time I come on here. Thank you guys for having me once again. I appreciate it.
Well, it's the
Thank
reality
you.
of the situation. Whenever I get out and about.
Nepotism?
Well, I don't think we
we
that
disagree.
just kind of came in.
Well, that was more so people just said, hey, you're only in the league because your dad's out.
I was a top 10 pick. I was a top 10
Exactly.
pick.
Well, that's because your dad. That's because of who your dad.
brother.
Ronnie's about to be a top 10 pick as well, nonetheless.
Hey, Bronny won the #1 player in the country.
Boom.
And I also led my team in scoring as a freshman at a university called Duke. Well, not too bad. Not too shabby. I'm only a very select few who's done that.
How long? That was
Let me
back.
talk my shit today.
Yeah, absolutely, as you should. And I think this is potentially a reason why people enjoy you. And the nepotism thing, obviously, Ty heard that from his neighbors.
That's right.
But you are the human that whenever I go out and about and I catch up with people that I haven't talked to in a long time and they watch the program or whatever, they go, thought Austin Rivers was a massive piece of shit. I had no idea. And then he comes on your show. I'm being serious when I say this. People love you on the program. I hope you get to feel that.
Well,
and we're
then
very thankful that you come on here.
I got to be honest with you. I have gotten a lot of good publicity from being on this show. And when I say good publicity, I've always gotten publicity, but this is positive one. This is good.
Baby
you know
face.
what I'm saying? Like
This is
it's one
baby
thing.
face.
Yeah. I love it, and I actually enjoy coming on the show and talking to you guys. So I appreciate you having me.
Well, we hate it, but it works. So let's get through this as quick as possible. No, last night Luka decided they were going to win that game, and obviously Kyrie and he went bananas. He beat the Minnesota Timberwolves in the first quarter himself. He and Kyrie beat the Minnesota Timberwolves in the entire first half by themselves with what they scored. It is a dominating performance in a knockout game, and you heard Charles Barkley and Shaq and everybody on the TNT inside the NBA crew. Charles Barkley was embarrassed for the Timberwolves. Like, hey, you're the desperate ones here. You're the ones that are supposed to show up like the Mavericks showed up. Why do you think the Mavericks did that? Do you think they were pissed that it wasn't a sweep? And do you think they can carry this emotion into a very hostile TD Garden Boston Celtics team?
You know, Dallas reminds me of one of those teams that like hits stride at the right time in the NCAA tournament. You ever see one of those teams that was like good all year and then the NCAA tournament comes and they just hit stride and now they're hot? They're playing a level of basketball that I have not seen them play, particularly on the defensive end. I always knew Luka could score, Kyrie could score, but now they're doing it in unison. PJ Washington, Gafford, all these additions that they got midseason proved to be huge, huge additions. And then Luka's just the baddest player on the planet with the basketball in his hands right now, man. I mean, let's just call it what it is. He's unbelievable. And I love Ant. I love Shea. I love some of these other young players, Tatum. Luka is the best player in the NBA. And the only person that you could say outside of that or who has a chance to even be that would be Nikola because he's won 3 MVPs. You got to put him in the conversation of respect. But this dude right here, first off, just for Boston fans, leave him alone.
No.
Leave him alone. Every fan that does this thing with him and like aggregate, gets him angry, he ends up just cooking and just destroying everything in sight in front of him. He did this for Phoenix. He did it versus the Clippers when a fan got into it with him. And then yesterday, he's looking over there chatting with Snoop Dogg, just up 30, look at him. Look at this guy.
Yeah, he told somebody, cry now, motherfucker. Or who's crying now, motherfucker? He said to some. I mean, it's there's people that need that or like are motivated by that type of stuff. And obviously, we've seen the videos of the basketball that he grew up in the arenas. You know, it's like, I think he does need somebody potentially to like flip the switch. There's some people like that, Austin.
Yeah, he looks for something like that. It's like sometimes he'll shoot or he'll complain. He'll look at the crowd looking for someone to give him that. And then he'll just be like, you know what? That's my next 5 minutes. I'm going to go at that guy 5 minutes. And it's going to be because of you I went on this 12-0 run. Dude's shooting at 4 feet behind the line, step backs. Brother, he's unbelievable. And the fact that he does this with very little athleticism just shows you the level of skill that this guy has.
Very little athleticism.
Why is it always?
Or is that because he's white? Okay. Hard. We get it. Yeah, he's in early. He leaves late.
Coach's son.
I should say traditional coach's son. I should say traditional athlete because he's not like your traditional, jumping quick athlete.
Okay, can't dance. All right. Yeah. We get it. He does have rhythm.
Not coordinated.
We understand what you're trying to say here, okay? And half of you is being very hypocritical right now. That's right. Just want to let you know that.
No, the other half of me is like, what the hell are we doing right now, guys?
Okay.
What are we? I hear you. I'm conflicted a lot of times when I talk about Luka, but he is athletic. It's just in a different way. But he is unbelievable, man, at body control, controlling a game, getting fouls. My God, man, he's box office. In my eyes, he's the best guard in the NBA. And he's showing it this playoffs again, just how dominant he is. There's nothing you can do with him. He gets to any spot he wants to. He picks the way he was able to pick the defense apart. Minnesota, the number one defense in the NBA, by the way, unbelievable.
He's crafty, obviously, sneaky, athletic, like all those things. We get it. We understand.
And he's a dog.
He is.
He's a dog.
So that leads me to this question. Because of Anthony Edwards' dogness, we will say, throughout the playoffs that we were seeing, and him talking shit and how he plays and his competitive edge, we all fell in love. And by we, I mean people that are like kind of outside of the NBA. Yeah. Then the NBA folks started saying like, hey, this is the new face of the league here. Ant-Man's going to be the new face of the league. Obviously, Wemby, he's going to be the next face of the league. Nobody really talks about Luka. Why? Is that because of he's just so untraditional, the way he plays basketball in the NBA? And I don't mean that by he's white, but because he moves slow. He does, he doesn't seemingly. He's not super flashy.
Not dunking on
flushing.
people.
Right.
Is that why, or what do you think it is?
I think sometimes we get, just in the media in general, I think we get used to greatness. You know what I mean? This is a guy who's been first team All NBA 5 years in a row. So it's not like he hasn't been spectacular. No other young player has that type of title that they could say. Tatum's made first team this year in a couple other years. This has been a continued thing for Luka. He's been the baddest guard in the league for a while now. His game isn't the most exciting if you're talking about vertical in the air and all that, but it's like Nikola. I think Nikola's one of the more exciting players to watch in the league. Other people might not, but I think it is. The fact that they're able to use their skill and IQ to dominate the game at such a high level, I think is amazing. And I think he's the most entertaining or one of the most entertaining players to play in basketball or watch play basketball right now. Just due to the fact of how competitive he is. I love him. I love how he goes out there. He talks his shit. He don't care who it is, who's watching, who's guarding him. Like you said, the league pushed Ant as that guy. Luka came in there and said, listen, Ant is a great player, but I'm the alpha. I'm the guy.
Yeah.
I'm the dude right now. And he did it with his play. He did it with talking and backing it up. And now his team's in the finals, and in what I would deem is one of the more exciting finals we've had in recent history. I mean, think about it last year. We had Denver playing Miami, and everyone knew that series was going to be a quick 4 or 5 games in and out. We got a dogfight here, bro.
Yeah.
I mean,
and
this is going to be a
storylines,
battle.
Austin. A lot of storylines. And you talked about, like, you hope Boston doesn't chirp Luka. Like, they're definitely going to be chirping Kyrie. And if you look at the most unassisted field goals of players remaining, and in some stats I think are maybe bullshit, and you could probably know more about that. But it's
you're right. Yeah.
It's like Luka and Kyrie, they're creating their own, right? Isn't that what most unassisted shit means at a more rapid clip? Is it better or worse for team play whenever you have the most unassisted points in the series, or is like the way Tatum and Brown have the entire team kind of helping out? Which do you think it favors? Because from what we've been told from our sources around the NBA, the reason why it's tough to prepare for this guy is because you have no fucking idea what he's going to do. You have no, each game, it's like he's kind of figuring it out as he goes, so it's tough to prepare for. Yeah. What are your thoughts, early look ahead here, for the style matchup that's going to take place between the Celtics and the Mavs?
Well, it favors Boston. Boston's the better team. They have better role players. I think they're the best team in basketball. And they have a variety of guys who could step up and chip in with 10, 15, 20-point games. With that being said, I said the same thing with Minnesota. I thought Minnesota was better than Dallas. And they proved me to be wrong because at the end of the day, even if they are a team led with 2 ISO players who have the most unassisted points, blah, 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 if they're both playing at this level and Luka and Kyrie are both coexisting, going for 35, 34 apiece, I mean, bro, when you have 2 guys providing 60 to 70 points a game, all you need is like 10 to 20 from the rest of the team. It's very difficult to beat, and they're doing it efficiently. You said it best, Pat. The storylines in this are incredible. Porzingis is going to be back in Dallas. Kyrie's going to be back in Boston after a lot was there, stepping on the floor, saging the court, flicking off fans. If the situation didn't work out there, they pushed him out. You got who's the best duo in the league? Is it Brown and Tatum, or is it Luka and Kyrie? I know Drew Holiday and Derek White are great defenders. I want to know how great they are because they're about to have their hands full. This is a great finals. I'm very excited. I have Boston winning, but my God, man, who knows? Dallas is the way Luka playing right now. That's a bad boy.
Connor just said pushed out. Let's relax there. Whenever you talk about the storylines there, but you're right. I mean, it is. And if you think about the way
he was a little upset because they went to the Eastern Conference Finals without him.
I know that, but that's what made him push him out. They're like, yo, we're good without you.
Okay. Nonetheless, and when he goes to Brooklyn, goes back to Boston, there's a lot of storylines. I did the middle finger behind my head because he did that to people. And then in the hallway, I think he told somebody to potentially kiss his penis. Right. There is that moment. There is stomping on Lucky. There was a lot of things that kind of took place between he and Boston. And it's like Celtics fans are smart basketball fans. Been around a long time. Obviously, a lot of banners up there. That's what it's all about.
Yep.
It's like they have to be pretty conflicted because it's like okay, so that particular, the white one there, if we chirp, if we need to make sure we are directing, this one needs to know that we're talking to this one at all times. Because if this happens to just accidentally get to there, he might go for 50.
Well, if we know
literally inside
leave him alone. If we know
alone.
Boston, they're going to know who.
Yeah, of course.
They know who, and the bigger thing too is like the players. Let's not talk any trash as players, because of course the T-Wolves fans definitely helped him out a lot. But Ant-Man saying, we'll see a Game 6 back in Minnesota. I
got Kyrie.
You don't need that.
Yeah. I doubt Luka like that too much. But Austin, as far as the coaching matchups go here, what is your strategy if you're Joe Mazzulla? Are you just taking out Kyrie and saying, hey, okay, if Luka can score 60, 20 and 15 a game and they end up winning, so be it? Or how do you approach that? And same thing with Jason Kidd. What do you think he's coming into this series thinking?
Yeah.
Like, are we going to also kind of force feed one guy, or are we going to try and shut down anything inside? Obviously, the three-point shot is huge for Boston. So what do you see those two coaches playing in right now as they get ready for this series on Thursday?
I wouldn't be surprised if Mazzulla started the series with a lot of switching. And I say that because the more you switch, the less there's weak side help.
What's that mean? What do you mean? What do you mean more switching?
So pick and roll switching. So when you come off a pick and roll, when Luka uses a pick and roll, that big's going to switch onto him. It's not going to be like where the guard's trailing him. Because all Luka did this past series is pick the Timberwolves apart in the pick and roll. Luka would call up a screen, come off the pick and roll, look at the weak side, and either have the lob or the corner three, or he had the matchup he liked. Boston has very capable defenders. I wouldn't be surprised if they switched a lot just so they can eliminate weak side passes and weak side defense. If you live with Luka making these shots for 7 games, I'm not saying it goes 7 games or they let this ride for a couple of games, but I think the first quarter or two, they're going to check the temperature. You want to limit the Derek Lively's and the Gatfords and the PJ Washingtons and the Josh Greens and the Jalen Harleys. Like, not all these guys can eat. We know Kyrie and Luka are going to eat. Let's try to pick apart. Let's try to take away some of these other guys. Let's limit our rotations. Let's try switching and see if we can make these guys play ISO basketball the entire game and beat us off those two. It's, I would imagine both sides are going to try to do that because the Celtics are very similar. They got a duo, but they got all these other guys that get offense, and you can't let everybody eat. I would imagine there's going to be a lot of switching and one-on-one play in this series early on.
Okay, I like to hear that, and now I feel like I'm much smarter. So thank you, Austin.
Hell
See,
yeah.
people would have never said that you would make anybody smarter like a few weeks ago.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's what, not maybe your friends and family. Sure.
Are you guys fast tracking my future to being a head coach or a president of a team?
Well, are you trying to be? Are you trying to be?
That is a long-term goal of mine. You see what JJ's doing? I have a similar path in mind of what I'm trying to do in terms of me using the media and loving being a part of the media and transferring into a coaching job or a front office job like my father. That's the goal of mine.
So that would be if you get that job.
I'm 31, so I got like I want to put in some time. I got to put in some work, another 4 or 5 years of really like building and networking and obviously getting on here. But a goal of mine is I want to be back in the show. I want to compete, man. I want to be a head coach.
We love that.
I want to run a team.
Hell yeah. Okay, I like to hear that. But if you got a job over somebody else because your dad had a job, what would that be?
That'd be nepotism.
That's
Well, that would be nepotism. I don't want that.
No, you would earn it. You would earn it.
Right.
We know you would earn it.
Yeah, I've only been around the NBA since I was 6. I might know a little bit of something of knowing how to run a team, possibly, maybe. I don't know.
No, we're just
We'll
talking
find out.
shit. I hope you go on to do that because literally listening to you talk, I enjoy the shit out of it. I think that's why people appreciate you on the show is because whenever you...
Well, I love coming on.
Well, it's very understandable. I mean, aside from all your dumb shit,
the
when you talk ball, though, it is very... You make doofuses like me kind of understand what the hell's going on, which is obviously coaching traits. That is... so it makes sense. So I'm excited to see you pull that off and make that happen. It's not a if or when. It's a, it's going to happen. Ty has last question for you here, Austin.
Austin, how much will these next 6 days actually benefit, like Luka and all his nagging injuries? Obviously, it hasn't really affected him that much. He's still going out there and lighting everything up. But, do you think he would rather, now that the adrenaline kind of wears off and maybe, the knee and the ankle he starts to feel that a little bit, do you think he'd rather have this time to rest, or with how well he's been playing, is he thinking, oh shit, I wish we were going on Monday and getting ready to play? How much can he actually heal in these next 6 days?
No, they need to get some rest, man. Boston's just been chilling there waiting. We all know Boston's path this year has been very not dynamic. They've ran through anybody that they pretty much
shut
played.
up, Boston.
Say fun.
Shut up. They beat a very good Pacers team. Very.
They played a Pacers team without their best player on the floor for most of the series.
Agreed. Hey, you said it on me, brother. Yeah, that was
So that and again, that's not Boston's fault. I'm just saying it's just what happened. They played a lot of teams without their best player. With that being said, you could argue they earned that number 1 seed. So, there's that. Regardless of which, 6 days can do a lot in terms of treatment and just getting Luka's legs back up under him and Kyrie. Because for them to beat this team that they had ahead of them, they're going to have to be special. They're going to have to be dynamic like we've seen all playoffs long. And it's one thing to do it versus the teams they've played. They have not played a team like Boston. They're about to play the best team in basketball. These 6 days will be very beneficial to Luka. We know Boston's well rested, so this isn't going to be a rest thing because Dallas has had less time than them. So if anything, they need this time. They need this time to heal up and get ready. Obviously, because they're starting on the road as well, so they're going to have to leave they're only going to have a couple of days in Dallas as is before they got to head up to Boston.
All right. We appreciate the hell out of you, Coach. We can't wait to chat with you again, hopefully very soon. When are you on TV again?
Anytime. Next week. But I'm available for you guys all the time, man. You send me the word, and I'm pulling up.
Hell yeah.
Good, man. We appreciate that. And remember, I think that is why what all the people are saying. Mm-hmm. Austin River.
He's surprised.
I like Austin.
Surprisingly cool and funny and
charming.
Am I turning them? Am I turning them slowly?
Yeah, I think you are. I think that's the entire statement from this conversation with you is your turn. I think people are Austin Rivers fans.
For sure.
That's crazy. I've never thought I would say that. Did you?
No, definitely not.
Never. Duke guy?
Yeah, so unlikable.
Dad's in the NBA?
Like a backhanded compliment, but it's a compliment. I'll take it nonetheless.
No. Ladies and gentlemen, Austin Rivers.
Hey, Austin.
I do a lot of the WWE boys.
Yeah.
A lot of the guys in the back.
Man, Austin's cool.
I didn't think.
Kind of out of nowhere.
No way, right? Then they said you too, right?
You hate
you guys, like the guys, they didn't think we would. And I'm like, yeah, he's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I've heard him talk much before this. I think everybody just kind of assumed, oh, that guy's got to be a douche or whatever. Mm-hmm. He was not. He's been awesome on our show.
The man.
Yeah.
Hey, Austin, thank you, pal.
Go,
Thank you, Austin.
I do appreciate the fact that he was like, yeah, I'm trying to become a coach or run a team, though. Yeah. Like that is a move that a lot of people have done that have gotten into TV and broadcasting because it's a public interview pretty much.
Yep.
Like, hey, here's my brain. Yeah. Here's how I would do things. And then, everybody's TVs are on these things, so hiring does potentially happen from the TV. You look at John Lynch. I mean, reached out to Kyle Shanahan to say that, but also Shanahan was able to learn a lot about John Lynch quickly because he was on TV talking about his beliefs in football and how he does it. Let's go to a man who used to run teams. Now he only does TV and radio and podcast and email newsletter and TED Talks and books. Ladies and gentlemen, Paisano Michael Lombardi.
Guys, how we doing today? How's everything?
Lombo, we just talked. Everything's good, man. Especially good because you're here with
the best desktop of all time.
Great desktop behind you,
what
bro.
What a screensaver!
That's not a screensaver. I think that's just a backdrop.
Yeah,
That's just my man. That's my hero right there. That's my guy. He's not doing good. He's sick, but hopefully he'll get well. Go back to Europe, and then I'm going to see him in Philly on the 23rd. So that's the guy right there.
Hey, we're pulling for you, boss.
Good luck, boss.
Yeah.
Pulling for you, boss. What's he's not feeling good? What's going on? That's news to me. I didn't know there's something
Said
wrong.
he had a perforated ulcer back in last year, which caused him to miss some concerts, and then this year over in Europe, I think he was playing in a concert in Dublin in the pouring rain. And then he got some kind of sore virus in his throat, so he had to cancel a couple shows. Supposedly he's coming back, I think, next week. He's back in Colts Neck now, recovering. So hopefully he'll get back.
Hey, we're pulling for you, boss.
That one hit wonder that sold his catalog for $600 million. You know, that one hit wonder. You know,
who called him a one-hit wonder again? Who was it?
Some idiot on Twitter, those experts, somebody on Twitter.
Right.
Hey, look, Austin Rivers, you got to as long as he says what he thinks, he'll get himself a coaching job. Look at J.J. Redick. He's going to end up maybe be coaching the Lakers. If you're honest on television, what people want, and you're not placating to a certain element, your knowledge comes out. I think it's awesome. He was great to listen to.
How do you feel about it in the football world? Because obviously we've seen it where, Mike Mayock goes from being the draft and combine expert at NFL Network to general manager of a team, which seems like the right. Now granted, Gruden, who is the coach of that team, goes from the Monday Night Football booth back into there. Not that he wouldn't have got a job if he wasn't doing Monday Night Football because of the success he had down in Tampa Bay. But I'm just saying, you see, Lynch obviously goes from TV into that. Why do you think, or do you think, that being on TV, it's like a never-ending interview pretty much with all these teams, right? Like if a team needs a coach, well, you've heard this guy for 18 weeks, at least 3 hours a week, talking about situational football, talking about there's angles. I think guys are trying to get jobs potentially as they get on TV, but I think there's also a chance that guys get on TV and people are like, hey, you'd be good for this job. You should think about it. Is that true as somebody that ran a team? And do you think that's going to continue to happen at a rapid level that it's kind of starting to?
I think intelligence is always going to be the biggest sell of anything. So when you talk smartly on television and you educate the viewer, whether it's in basketball, hockey, or football, or any sport, college basketball, I think that the viewer craves that. We're in the world of information, and they want to learn more about the game. They want to understand the game, not from a superficial level, and certainly not from an X's and O. We don't need clinics on TV. But what we need to do is understand the strategy that's involved around what's going on in the league, off season and in season. And I think that's what helps. And, look, Hubie Brown's 90 years old. I don't miss a Hubie Brown game that he does. I don't care if he's doing some two bad teams. I learn something every time Hubie Brown talks on television. He's 90 years old and he's into it. He knows the players. He coaches both teams at the same time, which is remarkable. And that's what we want as fans. I'm liking what the Sixers are doing here. I don't like what the Nets are doing. He coaches it, and that's kind of what we want to learn about the game. We all are curious about how we can improve our knowledge of the sport. So when we sit in some bar somewhere, we actually sound smart.
Yeah, I love sounding smart, and I love whenever people make me smarter whenever I listen to them. So I'm echoing your sentiment as well as what we all kind of want to hear. Also, and I don't know who brought this point up in the last couple of days, but somebody did. It's I think it was Florio maybe, Belichick on our show every Monday this upcoming fall, and then on the Manning cast. So on our show, fans that always have seen him as this old, miserable bastard from all these press conferences, they're going to see the side of him as a human. And then on the Manning cast, you're literally going to see him go, well, this is what they should. This is now you're watching him break down football. Coach. So every fan base is going to watch that. And if their coach starts to do anything, and there's a sense that Belichick still wants to get back into football, he's going to be on TV all year. And fans are going to be like, why don't we have Why didn't we hire Bill Belichick? That's another whole part of it as well. Like I don't want to say win over fan bases, but like you kind of do. So the owner can hire you as well. So the fans want it. Obviously the information is there and they're smart at your job. It seems like a brilliant interview. Like Austin's doing it right. And him having to plan like, all right, I'll do TV and then I'm going to get a job. Like that's not a bad pipeline to that potential gig if you're doing that. And Belichick, I think, is going to benefit mightily next year from this.
And we're all going to benefit when he breaks down the Monday night game on your show, because it'll be a peek into the game that no one else can give you. And I've witnessed it firsthand, and I have too many notes in my OneNote computer about, pregame and what he's been able to deliver and how he sees the game and how it's going to go. And rarely is he ever wrong. I can't remember it. And then when he's in the game, what is going on in the game? There's always something happening in the game. It's not about what plays are you running, but what are you trying to accomplish? Everybody goes play to play, but there's a broader picture of every single game. The first quarter is about figuring out, is this what we practiced? Is this what we need to do? The second and the third quarter are about the adjustments we need to make, and then the fourth quarter becomes standalone. Like, how do we win this game? And I think we see it in basketball. Look, the Mavericks won 3 games in the final minutes of the fourth quarter because they could figure out how to win the game in the fourth. And they adjusted in the second and the third. So you're going to get a great peek into his brain and his ability to invoke scheme into players. Remember, football is a game of players and plays. And so often we just talk players and not how they fit. Like, what's the difference between Kyle Shanahan's offense and Sean McVay's? Everybody says, well, they're the same. Well, they're really not. They're not at all. They're formationally is Kyle. What we've seen from Sean is more gap scheme, more trying to be physical at the front, more over routes. They're different, but they come from the same, but they brought off. And you're going to hear Bill talk about all those things.
Yeah, that's what Tom Brady said. Peyton said that Tom Brady told him that every single week on a Monday during the announcement of Belichick coming on the Manning cast, he said that Tom would come into his office every Monday or whatever it was, and Bill Belichick would break down not only the defense that he's going to be playing against, defensive coordinator, what tree he comes from, what the rules of this particular defense are from the founder of the defensive scheme that they are going to be running. Whenever there's a big moment, here's what the defensive coordinator wants to call. If there's a panic, this is what he's going to call in this exact moment. And by the time Tom got out of that, 3-hour, whatever it was like, okay, Tom literally just went through a master's course of this potential defense, which is why I'm excited to hear Tom Brady on Fox. But listening to Bill do that move forward will be awesome on TV. Let's talk about what's happening right now around the NFL, because these are moments, OTAs, where I feel like the biggest thing that happens is team camaraderie. I think team camaraderie happens. I think you build up friendships. I think the locker room gets strengthened. I think, obviously, if you have new schemes coming in, people can learn that. But if it's same schemes, same everything, it is just like a, hey, how you doing? Good to see you. We're about to spend 6 months with each other here as soon as the season starts off. For you with these OTAs, there's people, obviously, that are making business decisions and opting out publicly so people know that they're not at voluntary workouts. The people that aren't there, how do we feel about it? What should we be thinking about whenever watching these OTAs and thinking about these OTAs? And is there any stories that kind of we should maybe pay attention to a little bit more?
Well, I think a lot of it is based on the player, right? I mean, Trent Williams isn't in San Francisco's OTAs, but he works really hard and he shows up ready to play and he knows the system. So him not being there or Christian McCaffrey not being there is really no big deal, because they're doing their prep work on their own. But if you take a guy like Trent Brown at Cincinnati, who they signed, and they want him to be the starting right tackle, and he's had some weight issues off the field, you're a little bit nervous about him not being in your program. So every situation is different. But what I think most important for front offices and the coaches is the young players need a lot of reps. See, football's a game of mathematics. There's only so many reps you have because of the 2.5-hour practice time, or 2:45. There's only so many reps you get. There's only so many turns you're going to be able to have. And who controls those reps is critical. And if you can get the young players caught up on a fast track to where they can help you in November and December because they've gotten all these reps, I think it really benefits your team. The bonding element is great, because what the veterans need to do is show the players and the young players how to be professionals, right? They have to show them what it takes. How do you prepare in the classroom? How do you prepare on the field? How do you have a routine to get ready for practice? Like, that's all really important, and they need to learn that. And you can't always have the coach tell them that because it blocked out. So that veteran leadership needs to be present in there where you're trying to teach some of these young players how to behave like professionals.
And as small as it sounds, too, like, we're humans, too, going to a new city, you know? And obviously, your rookie class, you're going to be friends alongside of and everything like that. But whenever the vets are kind of like giving game on, you know, life in the city, like Clint Session and I used to go out whenever I was a rookie. And then I got introduced to, like, Joseph Adai. And then Peyton obviously introduced me to things and took me places. It was like, it was an immediate welcoming to the city. And then you hear stories about these places that do hazing in the NFL and shit like that. And everybody's like, hey, we're going to need the young guys. Like, it's better not to burn bridges with these guys. If we want to get paid how we would like to get paid, then you're going to have rookies that do well. Let's make them as comfortable as possible, and hopefully they'll be able to benefit. I think that's a big piece of OTAs. Last question about that from me to you, and then the boys have some. They're thinking about moving that up to the ramp-up period before training. Okay, you hate it. All right, yeah. So, yeah, okay.
Here's why I hate it, Pat. Here's why I hate it. Because, we're going to go to 18 games. There's no question we're going to go to 18 games. That's going to get passed at some point. It's too much money in the pot for the players and for the owners. So that's going to happen. And B, if you don't have an off season and you're out there practicing in the Thunderdome and you rip your hamstring out, okay, then that becomes a non-football related injury because you did not do it in the facility. You did it on your own. And so you could lose a paycheck. You could lose your year's salary. You know, we saw the running back Hines do that last year when he got hurt. I think he was in a skiing accident. He didn't get paid. It's subjective to the team, right? It's subjective to the team. If you have an injury away from the facility, even if it's a football activity, even if you're running sprints or training in some strength room, if you get hurt, that's on you. And so that huge void is out there, and it puts the players at such a liability in terms of now I'm working out. But if I pull my bicep or I rip my bicep here, I'm screwed. Whereas if I rip my bicep and I'm training at the Browns facility, you got to pay me because I'm doing your job. I think that needs to get clarified. And then if we're going to 18 games, why do we need this long preseason? And the other factor is we need the young players. Like I think the older guys, okay, but those young players need to be in there to practice and get going. I think that's the most important factor of all this. And somebody who's been involved with teams and has been involved with preparing teams needs to be in these meetings to tell the owners or the management council.
This is the players.
Here's the deal.
This is the players that are pitching this entire thing. It's like I haven't heard a single active player come out and be like,
I haven't heard one either. Why would they want to do this?
I don't.
And they're liable. You got to understand the liability that you're under if you get hurt in the off season. If you're skiing and you get hurt, you could lose your whole salary.
Oh yeah.
And you could say, well, that's not fair by the team. Well, it's written in the collective bargaining agreement.
Yeah, and you just got to drag your ass to the facility, okay? And you got to hurt yourself in there somewhere. Mm-hmm. Where'd you break your leg at? Colorado. But I need to break it in that building right there. So I'm walking in, and I'm jumping to the top of our box that we have in a weight room, and I'm falling off that thing.
Yep.
And all of a sudden, that's what's going to take place. That was really the thought. You know, that was like the fear. Like, hey, if you get hurt anywhere, you need to figure out how to not be hurt there and get here because you can lose everything. Now, I've never seen anybody actually accomplish that, but that's how much it is talked about, to your point about like, hey, you can lose everything. Because for like the first 2 weeks of what used to be OTAs, but now OTAs are at a different time. Now it's off-season conditioning program phase 1, whatever the hell it is. Mm-hmm. The first couple of weeks, you couldn't have a ball on the field. Remember, that was the big thing. The NFLPA was like, well, we don't even want a ball on the field because coaches will abuse the right and players might get too jacked up. So you can't even have a ball on the field. So I, as punter, had to go to local high school to kick, you know? And it's like, can we not make an exception for me to be able to kick at the facility where I have nets and people that will return balls and not a crowd of people that are going to be, you know, like, is there there's a lot of stupidity in all of this. And I'm not saying the NFLPA is the engineer of all of it, but they certainly haven't, you know, missed an opportunity to do some dumb shit seemingly in the past.
Their job is to protect the players. This doesn't protect the players. Their job is to protect their clientele. This doesn't protect them at all.
Think about the freedom in an off season. 2.5 months of off time.
Long time.
Damn.
I mean, they're 3.5 months of off time. And not that, like, they should be adults. You're professionals. It's like, I'm a guy that got in trouble during season. So, like, you couldn't even imagine. It could have happened easily in the off season as well. It's like, that's a lot of free time for people that have been structured their entire life. And obviously, being adult, be mature, you're lucky to have the job. But also, let's look at the reality of situations here. I don't know. If this is just... Because the NFL is just going to use it as a way to get 18 games. And then, like, why don't we add some other shit in there if we're going to give up 18 games? 18 games does mean another check, though. Nonetheless, let's talk a little bit more about ball. Go ahead, man.
Yeah, Lombo, obviously it seems like now after the draft, the Bills, made the right move drafting Keon Coleman, that he will be good for them. But the situation with how they got to the second round and trading that pick to the Chiefs so that the Chiefs could get their guy. How do you feel about that? And do you think that this is something where Xavier Worthy will have an 85-yard touchdown against the Bills in the divisional round, and then everyone in Buffalo will say, well, it's our fault for giving them that guy?
Yeah. Well, look, I worked for a man named Al Davis who you were not allowed to trade any player to the division or a player to any game team on your schedule. So that was eliminated. But in this case, to me, they had an opportunity to take a deal from New England. New England was in high-speed pursuit of Worthy. They wanted Worthy badly. They were making calls to get that pick. And Buffalo had them on the phone. And so was Kansas City. And I think if you're Brendan Beane, you have to sit there and say, yeah, maybe Kansas City offered me a lot more, but why would I give Worthy to them, who's a weapon, who could become the next Tyreek Hill for them? I know he's undersized at 160, plays bigger, he's a tough kid. But why am I doing anything to help the Chiefs, especially since I lost to them with 13 seconds? I missed a 44-yard field goal to send the game in overtime. Like, I haven't been able to get through that door to get to where I need to go to. So, I don't understand that. I would have been more than happy to give him to the Patriots, who's working on a new regime, who's got a new quarterback. And in 3 years, if Worthy's a great player, that's great. Maybe they're ready to go. But I'm worried about today, and helping the Chiefs out would be the last thing I would want to do. That's a strange one, and that's going to come back and bite him in the ass if Worthy is as good as we might think he could be. And Reed does a great job of coaching these young guys. Look, that receiver room hasn't really improved from last year. If Worthy takes a step up, it has. We don't know what's going to happen to Rice. Kadarius Toney is a wild card, and that really comes down to Hollywood, right? It comes down to Hollywood Brown.
Okay, so Kadarius Toney, what an interesting.
Yeah.
Just what an
truly.
Period. What an interesting.
Yeah.
Period. Still there, though. They still got his back, even though there was a lot of weird shit that happened towards the end of the year where he seemingly came out and talked shit about the Chiefs. And then Chiefs were like, come on, dude. Everybody's seeing the same exact thing. That's actually the conversation about our team is pretty much this entire situation. They bring in Hollywood Brown, which we assume is going to be a phenomenal tag team. Travis Kelce is their one. If this Worthy guy can go and Rashee Rice could stay out of jail, which we hope he'll be able to do, he needs to get back to Kansas City. Let's go. Just get our ass back to Kansas City in this entire thing. It's like they're better than they've ever been, and it feels like if you talk about the end of the AFC, the Bills are going to be there and the Chiefs are going to be there. So do you know that the Patriots are, how do we know that happened?
Fact.
Is that already
fact.
that's been
they were on the phone with them. That's fact. I don't know if it's been reported or not. I'm just telling you that's fact. That's not bad journalism. That's not bad.
The trade that sent the pick from, what was it,
28?
26? 28?
Yeah, 28 to...
New England made a substantial offer to them, and they took the Chiefs offer. Now, I don't know if the Chiefs offer was substantially more than the Patriots. I would just see, look, if it's the chart, I mean, at some point, you have to get away from the chart and do what's in the best interest of your team, right? You got to get away from the chart. But no, this is fact. I'm not making this up that the Patriots wanted Worthy. That's a fact.
Okay.
And they tried to get him.
Okay, so let's talk about the Patriots then. How do you feel? This just came out yesterday, I think. And I've been openly against this a few times because I saw it in the Colts building where new regime comes in and they actually painted over the walls that had Unitas and Peyton and Freeney and Mathis and Brackett and Saturday and Deem and Adai and Ed. I mean, just literally everybody that built the stadium in Indianapolis and the building that they're practicing in and the Colts fan base in Indianapolis, just painted them over, took photos down. We got new photos up. And it was we wanted people to know that this is no longer, this is a new Colts, and we got to bring the Colts, whatever. It's like we had one losing season, Peyton had a broken neck. Everything else seems to get forgotten. Seattle would happen, right? They're coming out, and obviously the players are cool with it. So however it motivates the team, sweet. When I was in Indy, I hated it. Now it's come out that the New England has done something similar. I don't know what the extent is, but they've taken some Super Bowl memorabilia down. And Coach Mayo said he wanted to let the boys know, like, it's a new team. This is our team now. It's like, I don't know. I don't know what New England did. I don't think we've gotten photos from the before and after and how big it is. How do you feel about that whole, that's like their mission, that's like the way to motivate is like, this isn't about what happened here before, it's about what happens right now, which I get. But also, shouldn't you, like the standard here is this? Like, shouldn't you? I don't know.
This isn't the first time it's happened. When Bill Walsh walked into the 49ers facility at 711 Nevada Street in Redwood City, he took over for Joe Thomas, who took all that stuff down, who basically got rid of all the great 49er history. And Walsh put it back up. And he wanted to bring in he needed the alumni to come in the building. He needed the players that are wearing that uniform to understand what it meant to be a 49er, that it has been successful, that there is a heritage here. There's a sense of belonging. And the only way you can create a sense of belonging is reaching out to your past. It's why we have holidays. It's why we have Memorial Day. We honor those who have given their lives up for our freedom. It's why we have Veterans Day. So we honor the veterans who have served in our country. It's a way of creating a sense of belonging. And you can't lose sight of that. Walsh used to say all the time, Marines fight for Marines. Because he believed that that was a sense of creating. And when you just do that, when you absolve it, then it's disrespectful. Look, the Minnesota Vikings have kept Bud Grant's office intact. Now, most of those players have no idea who the hell Bud Grant is other than he wore short sleeves in a cold weather game. Even though they went to 4 Super Bowls, they didn't win any. But Bud Grant, they kept his office. Like, he's part of their heritage. And I think, to me, when you do that, it becomes egotistical. It becomes something bigger than the program, and I think that becomes a real issue.
Because, obviously the Vikings, I don't know how many Super Bowls, so I'm not saying it's worked or whatever. Go ahead.
That's what I mean. Like, Seattle and Indy, like, absolutely taking that stuff down stinks, but they've won 1 Super Bowl. Like, with the Patriots, who the New England Patriots are. It was the last 20 years. They won 6 Super Bowls.
And we don't know what they did. We don't know what all they did.
Allegedly, they took down, like, the do your job shit. They took down some photos, like, things of that nature that might have alluded to the past, but New England. It's not like this history is far, far away. Like, I think everyone who sees this logo knows, like, oh yeah, Bill Belichick, Tom Brady, 6 Super Bowls. Like, is it a little different because of that, and also because the player that is now the head coach was a part of the dynasty?
I don't know. And is it? They're saying it's Coach Mayo's decision to do this.
Everything seems to be, hey, we're going to trust Coach Mayo to do whatever the hell he wants to do. Go ahead.
Because if it was a Kraft move, that'd be.
If it was Jonathan Kraft, yeah, I'd probably push that.
Let's take it. Yeah, we take it.
Take it down. Take it down.
If it was JK, that'd be a problem.
Yeah. So it's honestly, however, who knows how it motivates a team?
True.
However a team comes out is however it comes out. Our team, literally, Andrew Luck's rookie year, go to the AFC Championship game, and then balls are flat, and we lose.
Well.
And that. So it worked, So it's just like, for me personally.
Those balls really were.
All right.
LeGarrette Blount, 3 touchdowns, really 180 yards.
Yeah. Well, he couldn't fumble because he was just squeezing that thing.
Yeah, they were really flat there. That was the problem.
For those that don't and are new to the show, I am not on the side.
Jokes.
Yeah, this is not
jokes.
This is not real. This is not real. That was the worst thing to happen to our particular team. Now, granted, I am bottom of totem pole, which I think is actually the most powerful spot of an actual totem pole. But I'm just talking for the metaphor.
Sure.
As the bottom of the totem pole, as the least important human being on the Indianapolis Colts, more specifically any of those teams. But I think I could speak for our locker room that Deflategate shit was the worst, and how long it went for was fucking miserable.
Oh my God.
For an hour, a year and a half later, we're being reminded, you guys lost by 70. You could have lost by 80.
They did more investigation on that than the Warren Commission. I mean, Christ almighty, they had more people coming in to interview and do all this. It was unbelievable. And then then Peter King admitted it was all fake. It was all fake. And so, we can't get that out of the Warren Commission, but eventually maybe we'll get that too, But, I mean, it's ridiculous. Yeah. I can remember Bill was like spending all his time talking about the ball, and we're getting ready to play Seattle. Like we're at the hardest game.
Didn't Bill say you got to ask Tom?
Ask Tom. Yeah,
Ask Tom about this shit. I'm done with it. I am completely.
It's unbelievable.
It is, and let alone if it happened or if it didn't happen. It's like. You asked, I think what we all learned from like every quarterback was like, oh yeah, I like mine a little bit under with a little bit more mud on the ball.
Yeah. Aaron came out and he's like, I like mine over.
I like it max.
Which would be harder.
I like it at max. Like, so we learned like, oh, there's a bunch of, this seems like this is a little bit of bullshit.
Yeah.
And Tom hasn't forgot.
No, he certainly
which
hasn't.
is good news.
We're Super Bowl.
Tone has a question for you, Lombo, as we wrap this thing up.
Yeah, Lombo, and I ask this with all due respect to all the names I'm about to mention, because they're great quarterbacks. But Jared Goff just got paid $50 million. Trevor Lawrence is rumored to get paid $50 million. Another quarterback in that conversation is Tua, and I assume he's also going to get paid $50 million. How do you feel about those contracts? And then, like, just how are we ever going to get to a time where, like, those guys aren't in the top 5 quarterbacks in the NFL? Is there going to be a time where the next quarterback contract isn't always going to be the biggest quarterback contract of all time?
No, because I think, look, if you're Tua, Justin Herbert got paid $52.5 million. So I'm sure Lee Steinberg's saying, well, my guy's been to the playoff.
Yeah.
Herbert's lost a playoff game. My guy's been there. He's won. He's got these numbers. He should make this. Look, one of the beautiful things about a salary cap and about players at positions making money is water seeks its level. Everybody rises to the next one. And they know teams don't have the guts to be able to say, look, I'm not going to do this. We're going to draft a young guy, and then we're going to transition over to somebody else. I don't think that they're going to call that bluff because it's supply and demand. There's just not a lot of them. I think the question you're asking, are they worth it? And the answer is no, but the market says they're worth it. Yeah. The market dictates what you have to pay. Would I pay Tua $53 million? No, because Tyreek Hill takes up 12% of the cap. Waddle takes up 8% of the cap now. That's 20% of the cap. If I go and pay Tua, 30% of the cap, what do I have left for the rest of my team? But I'm down this road. I've already gone down the road. 80% of my offense comes to these 2 receivers, and they're explosive and they're great, and he can make it good. So, I think you're trapped a little bit here, but you can't get caught up in the number. You got to get caught up in this is the system that we're in, and you got to be proactive and draft a quarterback every year and develop a quarterback every year, because if you can get one at a cheaper number, that's going to help you out. It's a little bit like what happened in Minnesota. They traded Cousins. Now they got McCarthy. Now the question is, do they pay Justin Jefferson, right? Now, all right, that's the fair question. But if they could have gotten Neighbors for Jefferson, they probably would have traded him. But to trade them for draft picks that you don't know what you're getting back, how do you trade them? Yeah. Right? Everybody says, well, trade a player for 2 number 1s. Well, I don't know what I'm getting with those 2 1s. Whereas if I traded him for Neighbors, who was a legitimate, could be a cheap number 1 receiver for 4 years, okay, now I could do that. So that becomes another issue.
Okay, so Justin Jefferson, everybody's assuming he is going to get paid because of the decision to move on from Kirk Cousins, bring in Sam, and then also draft a young player. Don't have to spend as much money at the trigger position. We can pay a wide receiver. That's seemingly how the market is shaping out. We go back to Miami. Is Tua have 1 year? How much is this his last year of his contract?
1 more year. He's got $23 million on the cap at 1 year. That takes up 12% of the cap right now. When they do that deal, right now Waddle takes up 7.8% of the cap. Tyreek takes up 12%. Now, Tyreek, he's still the second highest paid receiver in the league. A.J. Brown slightly went above him. So, but I mean, they got to keep Hill really healthy. He's the engine that drives the machine. But, now the reason you don't sign Christian Wilkins is because you're giving the money to these other guys. You're going to have to figure it out. It's Chris Greer's got to draft really well.
Wilkins to the Raiders, nobody even talks about. No. That's a whole different him and Crosby next to each other.
But plays every snap of every game.
So does Max.
There you go. Gump, there you go. He plays every snap. He can pressure the pocket. He can push inside. He's going to make Crosby more effective if that's even possible. Jeez. And they just let him walk like it was no big deal because it's a 7-on-7 game for them. Now, they haven't beaten a good team. We know this, right? They have not beaten a good team. Gump can verify that. They go into Philly last year, and Philly played defense against them, and we know Philly wasn't good on defense. So, it'll be interesting how this all works out.
So Tua will be a free agent after this year. Dak could be a free agent after this year.
Mm-hmm.
They know they both get paid somewhere. Kirk Cousins just got $130 million guaranteed or whatever. That market continues to go. If you're a team, though, that has a guy, boy, feels like you need to keep the guy because you have no idea what door two potentially has on the other side. Last question here from Ty Schmidt, Lombo.
Yeah, Lombo, it was just announced that the Bears are going to be on Hard Knocks this year. And obviously, you don't really have a choice. It's kind of if the NFL tells you you're going to be on Hard Knocks, you're going to be on Hard Knocks. But as a GM, especially going into their situation where you draft the quarterback number one, they ended last season very well, and they have a lot of momentum going into next year with a lot of people saying, hey, this might be a playoff team. Like, is there anything to gain if you're the GM of the Bears from having Hard Knocks in your building, or is this kind of all setting up to just be a massive, massive disappointment?
That's a Packers owner asking the question.
Maybe.
Yeah, well, I think you have to be really careful. I mean, one thing it can do, it can really it can enlighten your fan base to know that you're on top of things and you're really good at what you do. But it can also enlighten your fan base to say you're indecisive and you don't know what to do. Remember the Cleveland Brown one. Remember that one? I mean, that one was disruptive to the whole entire organization. So a lot of this is you're going to have to do a really good job of preparing and letting people know this narrative that you want to get out of your building. That's really important. And I think Ryan Poles has got to do that. And Matt Eberflus has got to do that too, because when he stands in front of the team, he's not standing in front of the team. He's standing in front of America now. He's standing in front of America. And he's got to sell America on that, right? He's got to sell that. And so does Poles. So that adds another dimension to it all. It's a distraction, no doubt, but you're going to have to work around it. The one that's going to be fascinating is the Hard Knocks offseason with the Giants. I can't wait for that. You know, when they said they were trying to trade up to get Alt, but they stopped once May went off the board. So maybe we'll solve that puzzle.
Okay, sounds like you have some questions about some insider information from draft night. Excited to find out. Daboll is back calling plays, allegedly.
Oh, yeah.
Now, will he be doing that during the regular season? Who knows? But we'll find out during the offseason Hard Knocks. And then the training camp Hard Knocks of the Chicago Bears, Caleb Williams. And if we know anything about Eberflus, he's going to look really cool.
Real fresh.
Yeah.
Players love him. Here in Indianapolis, I think in Chicago, a similar thing. What's Caleb Williams going to be like? How about Rome Odunze? And
they said he was the second highest rated player on their board, which I had heard he was a higher rated receiver than Harrison on their board, which I had heard earlier in the offseason.
Yeah, there were some people that said that was the case. Instead, Arizona ends up with Marvin Harrison Jr., Rome Odunze, Caleb Williams. The young rookie class in Chicago are going to be on display on Hard Knocks. We appreciate the hell out of you. We wish you were on Hard Knocks.
Thanks, guys.
Michael Lombardi.
Yeah,
Lombo's got a show in like 4 minutes, so I appreciate the hell out of him doing that. What a good man.
The best.
Lombo just has something for everything, doesn't he?
I mean, that worthy New England. I didn't know that was real.
Yeah, did we, as he was saying it, I'm like, okay, got a lot of questions about this, but also I had no idea that happened. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's matter. This ain't false journalism.
Yeah. So it hasn't been reported, but it's 1,000% true.
Well, he does that on our show, though. That is like the Lombardi move. And it might have been reported on like something he did, whether it was like a podcast or another show or something else. Yeah, I said this Monday, last Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I said this. Yeah, everybody knows. And we had never heard it. And then all of a sudden it goes.
Yep. Rams looking to trade Stafford last offseason.
Yeah, he said they're not going to say it, obviously, but it's definitely happening. Look at the contract. All you got to do is follow the money. It's just they would be in contempt of running a business if they weren't thinking about it, is what he says. Love Lombo. Next hour should be a great one. We got the Hundo Boys, Paul Skenes and Jared Jones, AJ Hawk, and Paul Bissonnette. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice. It might change their life. Cheers.
In an abandoned warehouse, Arthur Isaac Fischel, the world's AI authority, has summoned the Earth's most influential doofuses for an emergency meeting about the terrifying powers of artificial intelligence. Antonio Margarita, influencer from Italy. Vladimir Borobashnakowski. Chad Speed. Jim. We catch up with them mid-dinner as Artie Fish tries his damnedest to get the influencer's attention.
Yes, that'll work. Thank you. Scram. Let's get down to brass tacks, boys. The real reason we're here. AI is it's a problem. It's going to kill us all.
It's hard to take you serious with the way your face looks right now. I mean, you look like a fucking asshole. What are you talking about?
Oh, the only thing artificial is those fucking balls you call balls.
You look absolutely absurd.
You guys don't understand. You're not listening to me, okay? I'm wearing this because AI can hear your thoughts. It can get into your brain, guys.
You ain't got no fucking brain.
Once again, struggling to take anything you say serious. My team told me I should come to this. You look like he looks like a joke.
Like an absolute jerk off.
Does this look like a joke? Huh? That's a nuclear bomb.
Nah, that's fake. Just
fucking bad man puts marbles in plastic case.
You need a guma, my friend.
You guys aren't listening. This right here, AI gave to me a nuclear freaking bomb. Told me the only way to save this screwed up world is to blow it up. This guy awake? Idiot.
Wake up, asswipe.
You wouldn't hit somebody with a nuclear
No, yeah, fuck.
No, don't you worry. This one is foolproof.
I doubt it.
I brought it here, boys. Not just for show.
What?
But because I'm gonna blow up the world right now!
Holy shit! That's Jack Carr!
Turns out, that was an actual nuclear bomb. Arthur Isaac Fischel was going to blow the entire world up, and Jack Carr saved us all. It was his actual first shot. And Artie Fish is actually dead. Forever. Thank the Lord that Jack Carr sensed trouble. Hell yeah, Jack Carr. Hell yeah.
The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey, why? Let's go! This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for. The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers, you pig! Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life. Sport! Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this Feel Good Friday, May 31st, 2024. Hour 2 of this program starts now. Sports! Are amazing. We're lucky to talk about them every single day. We can't thank you enough for allowing us to do this for a living. It is truly absurd. The Talks Table is here at Boston Connor and at Ty Schmidt. Ty, see the hat.
Yeah, had to do it. You get the Hundo boys on the show. You gotta show them a little love.
Yeah, and I was gonna wait until he came on, but I should just go ahead and pop this bad boy up.
Might as well.
Yep. Get the Skenes tarp up there.
Yeah, and this is from the Indianapolis baseball team.
The Indians.
Yep.
Which is AAA for the Pittsburgh Pirates, which is where Paul Skenes pitched for 5 games, 6 games, 7 games.
Yeah, around there.
Yeah.
I forget how
Good
many
amount.
games.
Yeah.
5.
And he struck out everybody.
Pretty much.
And now he goes up to the majors, and he's like the greatest pitcher to ever start in the MLB in history. Something like that. I forget the exact wording of it, but he's breaking all these records. And he throws the ball over 100 miles an hour on a regular basis. And there's another guy that on the same exact roster that's throwing over 100 miles an hour on a very regular basis, and Jared Jones. We got 2 aces joining us in about 8 minutes. Ty, a lot of baseball on this program.
Yeah, well, like you mentioned at the top of the show, in about 4 days' time here, 5 days' time, that's all there is.
Some days.
Some days.
Some days, because there'll be finals.
Well, then we do get the finals, but then, again, that's basically, a week, 10 days of that, and then once that's done, guess what? If you don't like baseball, you better start liking baseball.
Don't you
that's
put that
all
on
there
me.
Is. Obviously, we got the W as well. Still.
Got the dub.
Caitlin Clark's starting to figure it out. These refs, the way they're reffing Caitlin Clark, I don't like it one bit.
I mean,
seemingly they got like an axe to grind saying, welcome to our league. Yeah. You think you're going to be able to do all that bitching and whining and moaning that you did in college? Not here. You better not even look at us sideways. We'll tee you up. And how about her and Veronica Vivians last night?
Yeah.
She hit one in her eye
Yep.
and then told her, what? Caitlin's starting to. Hey,
she's competing.
Just like we thought it would.
Exactly.
Over the last couple of days, feels like the team's starting to run with her too. Connor, you were there last night. Yep. Obviously, another L for the Indiana Fever. Need to start stacking some more dubs. Only one win in about 10 attempts. Yeah. Got Chicago Sky on Saturday at noon. Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark. Obviously, two new teams, but still great rivalry. Con, you were there on the floor, on the wood last night. Is this Fever team going to be good by the end of the year? What do you think?
By the end of the year, yes, for sure. They're starting to figure it out. I have some rotation ideas.
For Coach Sides?
For Coach Sides.
Who you are a fan of.
Who I am a fan of.
She got teed up last night because she's pissed about what's going on with Caitlin Clark with these refs.
Yeah, she's done with it because it is real. Like, there is something going on, and there's something to be said with how the games are being called, especially around Caitlin. But no, I think they're going to figure it out. Nalissa Smith got the start last night, and she is fantastic. She can run and gun. She can score. I think she had the first 7 points for the Fever last night. Need to get her some more minutes. Samuelson, she hit like 3 straight threes, and it was one of those situations like, okay, well, why aren't we getting 33 more shots if this is what's going on every single time she touches the ball? But they're going to figure it out. They'll be okay.
They were saying Kelsey Mitchell, number 0, didn't have a training camp because of an injury, so basically was working herself into shape. Last night she threw up a couple massive threes, former number 2 overall pick. Look out for the Fever as they cook, but I'll tell you what, Brianna Stewart, she started her own damn league. They're going to pay more money than
a couple years away from that. A couple years away from the Liberty stats.
Well, then the Aces, hey, they got some dogs on that team.
Oh, yeah.
They got dogs on that team.
Yes, they do.
They got dogs on that team.
Yes, they do.
Junkyard.
Every single day we learn. I mean, just beasts over there.
Yeah, well,
obviously, back-to-back champions. I mean, that's how it's going to go.
Some of them are inspiring music.
But the Fever videos, the Fever is.
What music video
Fever
are you talking about?
One half of the Hammer. Dahn. Cowboys 10 digs this year.
What music video are you guys talking about?
Houdini.
I couldn't not say it.
Houdini. Eminem.
Guess who's back?
Feels like
back again.
Feels like you guys aren't talking about that music video.
Anyways, joining us now is a college football. That's one half of the Hammer. Dahn. Cowboys. Big Dallas Stars fan. Bubblegum Peanut back there. Good to see you.
Go Stars.
Is he playing football? I don't know. After watching that video,
I don't think so.
I hope he's still breathing after watching that.
We would like to let you know. All love, dude. Come on. Best days ahead.
On the beach.
Best days ahead. That video was
crazy.
I was bummed out.
Watched it 3 times.
Not suntanned.
No, his face. I guess people do try to tan their cheeks.
Yeah,
so they do lay face down.
There was no sun.
I thought it was dead.
Dark. Yeah.
Hey, D. Come on, man.
Love you, D-Wall.
Come on.
Oh, that music video.
Yeah. Yep. Anyway, that's tough. That was tough to watch. I felt terrible. Keep it moving, bro. Come on. But I can see why he's potentially not known if he's playing football or not, if that's where he's coming from.
Yeah, bingo.
You know, he got to, that's tough. That's very public too, which is what happens.
Yep.
So that can't be any fun. But with that being said, Las Vegas Aces seem to be locked in and motivated by the entire situation.
Absolutely. Asia's balling.
As opposed to, yep, absolutely. And Kate
Money Martin.
Is balling. And then obviously Miss Plum, the founder of Kingmaker Cigars, she is balling right. I mean, they're doing everything. But the Fever are coming.
Yes, they are. The time is now if you're not the Fever because
Eminem's Houdini video, though, another music video that you were not talking about, out. Yep, he's back. Yep, he's literally hopped out of a portal and came back. And
good video.
Yeah, he sampled his own music and then made a song. Marshall's back.
Save it, Sam.
And it is great news. I think he's got another album coming. It's going to be his last one because he said it's his last trick or his final trick or whatever. Joining us now is a man who we think he's going to be a rapper someday. We can't wait for then. College football national champion, Super Bowl champion, Ryder Cup winner, president of Ohio, AJ Hawk.
Yeah, Hawker.
How you doing, AJ?
Yeah, I never say never, but probably never on the old rap career, I would imagine.
I think the show's going to be putting out a song actually this fall, so you're going to have words on it, so you will have a credited rap song.
Nice. Okay, I'm in. Let me know. Just tell me where to go to record.
And we will record. It'll be an uplifting song.
Always.
It'll be an upbeat song and music video, and we'll make sure that's
on the beach.
I was so bummed out watching that for him.
Dude,
I know.
I couldn't stop watching it, brother.
It was cinematic.
I know he's an artist and everything, but it's like even if that is your art in that moment, like that's not a
pretty vulnerable spot.
Feel Good Friday, dude. You know.
I know.
Feel Good Friday.
It's good singing, though.
It was good singing.
I didn't even
like
hear
Timberlake. I know, like Timberlake and Britney. Didn't they have a video like that back in the day?
Oh yeah. I remember that.
Well, I heard he
There was a
lied.
fake Britney in it, I guess.
So, and I heard that was a big.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They got some issues, right?
Now that we know.
Yeah, there's a book saying.
Yeah.
You even gave him.
Yeah. Bingo.
That
Yeah.
whole.
You're talking about Iman?
And then what's
no.
that?
No.
Who's Iman?
That's
I
kind
don't
of what it
That
reminded
was
me.
Iman.
No, that was. Here you are. I don't want you
That's
back.
Iman.
That's what you're
That's
thinking
Iman.
of.
Was
That's
that not Iman?
What
That
was
sounded
that?
like
What was
Iman.
We can't say
What
it,
is
you
that?
know, because none of it's going to get through. But
You know the Iman song.
yeah, you know
Oh.
I don't.
But
so-
why is it? What is E? What does that mean?
That's the
That's
guy's
the
name.
artist.
That's the artist's name.
Banger.
it. He's thinking the part you just sang, the JT part. He was thinking that's Amon. No, JT was doing that way before.
Yeah. What are we even talking? I'm so flustered.
I'm
right now.
confused. Yeah.
Before
The
Iman.
Iman video reminded me of Iman.
Okay.
Iman
Well,
was in his bag.
what the fuck
Who
is
is
Iman?
Iman?
What is this?
What?
You know what it
going
is.
Huh?
You know what it is.
My brain right
Sing it
now.
for us.
If you had a
Don't
gun
sing
to
it.
my head, that bullet's going through my
yeah, but
brain.
you're young. This was in our
Okay.
heyday.
Zito just tried to sing a song.
He did.
And we know
those
that
weren't
he-
the correct lyrics, but
Played it in your
they were
phone
close.
over.
They were close.
Joining us now, ladies and gentlemen, as we move, Eminem Houdini, Slim's back.
Yeah.
Yes,
bingo.
it is. Yes,
Okay.
it is.
Darren Waller, new music video, Heart is Broken,
Yeah.
Bummed out.
bummed out.
It's tough.
And we would like to let him know, Darren, come on, man. Things are going to be okay.
Oh, yeah.
Next chapter is going to be a great chapter. The one after that, you're going to look back. It's all going to make sense. It's all
Time
gonna
goes on.
That's right. And if it's just your art or whatever, we hope you maybe get back on the football field. See, you're an artist on the field as well.
Amen.
So is this all part of Hard Knocks then? Because he's a member of the Giants?
It is part
boy.
of their offseason.
Huh.
Bruce,
cameras.
Bruce, big New York Giants fan. You think this is going to be a part of the Hard Knocks? I know you're pumped to see what the
Has
Giants
to be.
I mean, imagine if they had like the documentary crew there as he was filming that heartbreaking scene on the beach of him getting stabbed in the back.
Is he playing this year or not?
I don't know. All I know is that he's got the song of the summer. That song's a hit.
Houdini.
Thank you, Bruce.
Thank you, Bruce.
All right. Joining us now, ladies and gentlemen, is the boys of the summer.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
You know, the Hundo boys of the summer. In a city in which I grew up, a lot of people couldn't care less about baseball. Now, there are certainly baseball fans because the history in Pittsburgh is obviously a deep one with the Pirates, but a lot of people had kind of lost the faith in the organization that it would ever be worth a fuck again. So why are we going to watch this sport that is boring, that we suck at, other than a nice night to PNC Park and hopefully some Zambelli fireworks afterwards? Then something changed. Some stars came to town. And not only are balls flying out of the park and the boats are towing up behind on the river that has dead bodies floating in it, there are pitchers now that are electrifying. So much so that the pitching ninja calls them the Allegheny, which is the county in which Pittsburgh is in, Electric Company. Ladies and gentlemen, the Hundo boys from the Pittsburgh Pirates, both rookies, Jared Jones, Paul Skenes. Oh, slide in. Chris Collinsworth. Respect. That was a good slide in, Jared. That was a good slide in.
We planned that. Yeah, that was all him.
Okay, so you're both incredibly rich. We know that. Are you guys roommates? Is this how this goes? And how is the friendship between you two? Paul, we'll start with you, pal.
Yeah, we are roommates. The nice thing about the show is we got our own our own rooms on the road, so we're not bunking up right now in Toronto. But yeah, we're having a good time.
And Jared, how is it? I think we talked to Paul about this before when he was on the show. You two kind of going through something similar, but you different paths. How is it to have a guy like Paul in the bullpen alongside of you? Has it made you better? Do you feel like you're competing against each other, learning from each other? What's it like, Jared?
Yeah, I'd definitely say we're learning from each other. Just going out there, I'm sure he takes notes on what I do when I throw, and I do the exact same thing when he throws. And obviously, he's a lot of fun to watch when he does throw. I told him this offseason, I'm training the whole offseason with you to learn that splinker that you're throwing. But
hey, Jared,
yeah,
he said it's not even a splinker. I just call it a sinker, is what I call it, but everybody else calls it a splinker. What is different about it? And is there things like finger position on ball that you guys kind of give to each other, Jared?
yeah, it's 95, and it has the most movement I've ever seen on a sinker. So it's pretty gross. But he was telling me how he throws it and stuff like that. So a lot of stuff to work on there this offseason.
Paul, whenever we last talked to you, you were just kind of getting started in this entire thing. Now you've somehow become a guy that when you strike people out, you're dancing on one foot.
Hell yeah.
Ain't he?
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Jared, you see that? You see that shit where he's just in the middle of a major league ballpark
Living.
and like his fourth start, just like, boo. That's a good, yeah, all right.
Cool.
Yep, can't hit that fucking ball game.
There it is.
Yeah, it's like a celebrity softball game out there. Has there been any anxiety, emotion, nerves change as you go, or are you just settling in and getting more comfortable every single time you hit it on the mound?
Just settling in. The game doesn't change, people change. So, the only thing different right now, I think, is the stadiums are a little bit bigger, but it's the same game.
Are the balls moving faster because you're in the majors? And how do you guys hide the spider tack?
No spider tack.
No.
Yeah, you guys are young, Jared. Is that generation before you? And you guys, is that something that's real? Because that spider tech thing I learned about whenever people are getting patted down.
Well, yeah.
That was just in the last couple of years, just kind of came out of nowhere. And then I think CC Sabathia came on and was like, yeah, I guess it was happening. I didn't know. So it was from more CC's era to a couple years ago was the spider. You guys are always trying to do shit, but it's more severe punishment now than ever if you were to add a little bit of grip to the fingers. So do you just not do any of it? Is that real, or how does that whole thing work in your generation, Jared?
Yeah, I've never really used it. I kind of got a first glimpse of it right when I got into pro ball. I was playing catch with someone my first time out when we got sent out in 2020, and I felt the ball. I was like, dude, what is on this baseball? And he was telling me, oh, it's spider tack. That was before it was banned and stuff like that. But I've really never been on it. I've always just used rosin that we were given on the mound. And sometimes my hand turns a little black. And I've had a couple umpires tell me to watch myself. I go, dude, it's just rosin. He goes, oh, I don't care. Wash your hands. I'm like, all right, whatever.
It's a bad look, okay? Everybody in here can see that you got something on your damn hands.
Angel's gone now.
Who's gonna do that? Hey, go ahead, AJ. Go ahead, AJ.
This is for both of you, but Paul, you can go first. Have you thought about the possibility of one day in your major league career that someone may charge the mound on you? And I just want to know if you guys have a plan, maybe, if someone does come charging at you and your catcher doesn't get them before they get to you.
Yeah, I took a boxing class at Air Force. I wasn't very good, but I have a little bit of practice. So, just got to fight them.
Jared,
Jared knows a little bit.
Jared, do you?
Jared, you taking the MMA class, jiu-jitsu?
No, I haven't. But I have gotten charged before, and it wasn't a very pretty sight.
Okay, Paul, have you ever got charged?
I haven't.
I assume you're so big.
Big son of a
Jared, he's a big son of a bitch.
You got to meet him and tackle him. You got to meet him halfway and tackle him, I think, and take it to them.
Yeah, Jared, you did the Collinsworth slide, and obviously you're a football guy. I think you're charging them.
Yeah.
They think they're charging you. You're charging them, Jared. I think that's the play.
I got to go to the back of the mound and just get a running head start, jump up, and go spikes first into something.
Yeah.
Yes. There's no rules in the fight.
A missile drop kick off the mound. Yeah, you're getting ejected, obviously, but boy, that would be the Hundo Boys merch.
Oh, through the roof.
There we go. Now, Jared, can you feel it in Pittsburgh that baseball is I don't want to just say hey, it's because of you two, but hey, it's because of you two. Can you feel it in Pittsburgh, Jared, whenever you go to the ballpark? And how is it? Because it hasn't always been like this. You guys need to know that. I know you're both new to the city of playing there. It has not always been like that. Does it feel very real right now?
Yeah, I mean, this past couple of homestands, our crowds are selling out. We're getting people at the ballpark, and it's a lot of fun to play in front of.
Paul, when you play Q Country Roads in Pittsburgh, did you just feel like you were the coolest dude on earth? Because I saw a video and I thought to myself, A, I should have known that song a lot sooner. Sorry, Mr. Godwin. And B, in Pittsburgh, what a legendary move. You know that, Paul.
Yeah, one of the bad boys came up to me after my debut, and he was like, "I love the warm up song," and I was like, "Yeah, I couldn't really hear it, to be honest. The crowd was so loud that day, but my last start at home, I heard it pretty well, and it gives me chills a little bit."
Let's go. I love that. Ty has a question for you.
Obviously, both of you guys being drafted where you're at, Paul, we know you played catcher before. Jared, obviously, you're a stud in high school. Who's the better hitter between you two? Because I still think it's bullshit that there's a DH in the National League. But, do you guys even get to take BP? Or do the Pirates just put you in, bubble wrap everywhere you go because they know, hey, if either one of these guys gets hurt, we're probably fucked?
Yeah, no BP for us. I think we both hit a little bit in the off season, but not during the season. It's been a while since I picked up a bat.
Who's a better hitter?
I'm gonna go with him. His hitting career went a little bit farther than mine. Mine stopped in high school.
Why is that in baseball? Just because you only have so many reps on your arms, Jared? Why? Because I assume they noticed you were going to be a great pitcher. Like, all right, why are we even messing around with the bat? Let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and stop that. Why is that, you think? And when did that start taking place? I assume you're not a history expert, but why? Did you enjoy it whenever it happened? Did you just expect it whenever it happened to you?
I mean, yeah, I loved hitting. I used to hit tanks in high school, but yeah, I don't really know the research behind that, but yeah, as soon as I signed with Pittsburgh, they shut that down pretty quick.
When did you start throwing 100?
This year. I haven't hit 100 before this year.
That's awesome.
Boom.
So we're only getting faster right now, right? I mean, that's where we're only getting faster.
Yeah.
Hundo boy's about to be like
105 boy.
Yeah. We're about to start doing some math.
Yeah.
We're about to start looking like one of those little tickers things that's going through. I mean, just straight gas, dude. Just straight absolute gas. Catchers, you guys have conversations with your catchers. I think we've asked you before this, Paul, because obviously you used to be a catcher. But like, are they the ones telling you like, hey, it feels like it's coming a little bit harder right now to you, or like, hey, you're having a good day or bad day? What are the conversations with the catchers, Jared?
I mean, most of the conversations I have with the catcher is set up right down the middle, and I'm gonna let all my stuff play right off of that. I know I have an idea where the ball is going. I'm not like a pinpoint guy where it's like, oh, I'm gonna dot this fastball inside on you. If it gets there, it gets there. But yeah, I just kind of tell my guys, set up right down the middle, let everything else play off of that.
All right, it's gonna be like left half, like left lower quadrant
over there.
I think, I mean, is it gonna be perfect? We'll see. On that little square, and now that Angel Hernandez is in umpiring, maybe those will get called strikes. If I am, you guys can't do that. You guys can't do it. Disrespect the umpires. Obviously, don't even think about it, boys. Okay, everything's. Paul, your mustache is fucking moving. Okay, let's have a little bit more respect for the umpires, pal. Let's go ahead and do that. Tone has a question for you, boys.
I feel like I might know the answer based off of Jared talking about the splinker earlier, but which one of you two has the better out pitch? And I know you guys might say the splinker, but Jared, I mean, there was a time earlier this season where you made a guy from the Brewers he had no idea.
Tore his ACL.
He didn't know where he was at. So who has the better out pitch?
I mean, I wouldn't say it's better, but I think we both have different qualities. Like, I think my slider is really good, and I think his little splinker thing is really, really good. So, I mean, with those two pitches combined, I think they're just right up there with each other.
And Jared, how come Kutch only hits home runs in Paul's starts and none of your starts?
Oh.
I mean, he's a lot more exciting to watch. Maybe everyone's just juiced up for whenever Paul pitches.
Jared, you got to start working the locker room, bud.
Yeah,
you got to start getting some,
talk to the boys,
beers.
Yeah, I got to start kicking some doors in.
No, that's the wrong way. That's the wrong way. You get more with honey than with vinegar. That's what they say. Go ahead, con man.
Yeah, Skenes, obviously the reaction from the crowd when your pitch and you mentioned you could barely hear the intro song, but did you expect all the stashes in the crowd? That was kind of a cool little thing. It was kind of a mania of all these kids wearing stashes. And then, Jared, are you thinking about maybe messing around with a mullet? Because then maybe people might start wearing mullets
with the stash.
With the stash.
They just put your head on.
I mean, look, just something to think about, boys. It's a good look.
Oh, we got one.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah,
unbelievable.
Nice.
That's good.
Yeah, he's got the flow.
Skenes, do you see the mustaches around town?
I didn't during the game. I heard about him after the game, saw him a little bit after the game, but I didn't see him at all during the game.
Kids are growing
locked in.
You were playing in a stadium here that was right next to a zoo that you could see from the pitcher's mound. Do you remember that? You could just see him?
Yeah.
And then literally right above where you would be sitting in between innings, 6 kids.
Yeah.
You must have thought to yourselves, oh, these kids in Pittsburgh grow mustaches early.
Yeah, just for men already.
Is that what you were thinking? Boy, that's for you. That's for you out there. And when you're about town, are you leaving your house at all or apartment, or are you just napping in baseball still, Paul?
Pretty much just napping in baseball, going to the field, early and staying there late. So it's a good life.
Jared, are you the same way?
No, I think I got a little bit more hobbies. We got a little pond right behind our house. I mean, he comes out. with us. He's definitely caught more fish than me since he started coming out, but we do go fishing right at that pond.
Oh, you guys good? We got big old lippers. What are we? Let's set.
What are we catching?
Yeah, what are we fishing for? What's the music? Are we on a boat? Are we on the side of pond? Where are we?
Dock.
It's a little pond. There's no boat, but there's smallmouth bass and then there's bluegill out there.
Ooh. Paul, you're just reeling them in, huh? You make that thing dance out there? Is that what we're?
Occasionally. I caught a frog one time. Did catch a frog.
Should throw baseballs at the fish.
No,
sure.
Come on. We're catching them, throwing them back, so we can catch them
work
again.
on the game.
Catch and release.
Yeah, we're not trying to murder these fish.
I don't want to murder
Respect
the
the
fish. I'm not
fish.
saying that you could cook it and then bless it and then eat it. Obviously, you're not just killing them and throwing them back.
Hey, Paul Skenes, down in Louisiana, you ever fist a fish down there? You ever do one of those fisting of fishes? You know, noodling?
No, I didn't. I've heard you can, get your hand pretty screwed up that way. I don't know. I don't think any of our friends did that either, as far as I know.
Yeah, I guess a pitcher should not be the one fisting fish. Yeah, sounds like probably the right decision. How many strikeouts this year? Do we know already? Is it 23, I think? What is the... No, it's got to be more than that.
Yeah, it's more.
I mean, I forget. We're donating.
30.
30.
I don't know.
All right, 30 strikeouts, donating 100 per. You're donating 100 per. And if you break the all-time record, let's remember, $1 million, okay? You were almost on your way. The first game after we talked about that, you were just sawing everybody down. Was there ever a thought, like, I might strike out every fucking human that steps in a batter's box today? Is that how you felt?
No, I knew it was, they were bound to hit some at some point. That's how the game goes.
They didn't, though.
Yeah, but they did, and then you left. Then you left the game, and I was like, thank God we don't have to donate $1 million this early into this entire thing. But I would love to. It'll obviously be for a good thing. But like you could have, that, you were set up to do that.
Well, and if I'm remembering correctly, you threw 7 innings and no hit ball, right? But you were at like 100 pitches. Like, was there any conversation like, hey, listen, I get it, I'm young. Like, let me go throw a no hitter right now?
No, I mean, that's just where we're at right now, too, especially with the innings restrictions that we've been, having. And, I mean, 100 pitches is 100 pitches. Like, that's, where the game's at right now. I wasn't really expecting to go any longer than that.
You trust the plan. That's what you're saying, too. There was
Yeah, absolutely.
Are you a part of that plan, like conversation, or somebody like who, like you're told this stuff, or they ask you how you're feeling, or is it like, has there been a blueprint of others in the past? Like, hey, here's the number, probably, if we want this to last as long as we want this to last.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not in the room where they're deciding, the absolute number that we're not going above, I guess. But it's a conversation, for sure. But there's definitely a plan. I think it's all based on what's happened in the past and some data that they have. So they're a lot smarter than I am on that stuff.
We would love for you to, play for the next 30 years in Pittsburgh.
Yep.
And on the other side, Jared, obviously you were starting the season 70 strikeouts from Jared Jones.
Yep.
Damn.
30 from Paul Skenes. The Hundo boys. Ladies and gentlemen, we can't thank you enough. The future of Pittsburgh Pirates baseball, bringing baseball back to Pittsburgh in a massive way. Have a great rest of the season, boys. You said you're in Toronto right now.
Yeah.
Yuck.
Blue Jays stink this year.
Canada does too.
Go have some Labatt Blues, boys. Crush a couple Labatt Blues, boys.
All right, thank you, guys. We appreciate that out of you. Paul Skenes, Jared Jones.
I mean, what are they supposed to say when Connor says Canada sucks? What can they do?
The Blue Jays suck, and Canada does too. Just like, just so quick, so matter of fact. You boys are real talent. Don't let anybody ever say anything different. Ever. Have a Labatt Blue, boys. Gumpy.
Love Labatt Blue.
On top of that. So they seem to get along really well. So young.
Yeah.
22.
22.
I mean, Jared had 10, I think, in his debut. And he's been unbelievable.
He's got a
draft pretty well, huh? They know how to draft well, don't they?
Well, that's the thing about the Pirates. We got a lot of World Series champions on other teams.
They do. Right.
Like they
keep them in town.
Well, the reason why you could draft well is normally probably because draft position's also pretty good for the Pirates on a regular basis.
Getting the first pick a lot.
There's a chance of that.
Part of it.
It happened to the Orioles, though, right? Like the Orioles had the top pick, and then now they're good.
Yeah, for sure. And that's been the Pirates' thing, is like you said, like they haven't been willing to pay the guys, like the homegrown talent, and then those guys have went elsewhere. But a guy like Skenes and Jared Jones, obviously, like if they're, I mean, shit, if they make the playoffs this year or at least competitive, like that's when you start thinking like, okay, like this is like a Randy Johnson, Kurt Schilling kind of 1-2 punch that we could have for the next 15 years if they stay healthy.
I like the moxie of old Jared Jones there.
Yeah,
He does have a.
He understands. This guy's the star. I get it completely. I'm cool. When did you start throwing 100 this year? Got a mullet already. Just I really enjoy the dynamic between those two. Seems like in public, probably in a restaurant, we got a nice yin and yang here.
For sure.
You know, in Paul Skenes, they say quiet mouth, loud mind. There's a lot cooking up there. You can tell whenever he starts going.
There was a bit of a Pat and Chris Kavanaugh situation going on there.
Yeah, well, speaking of, congratulations to Pat Kavanaugh.
Hell yeah, Pat.
He won a Tuarathon, which might be the coolest trophy in sport. Now, no offense, I'm saying coolest.
Individual award trophy.
Yeah, it is. It was sweet. And this is his third time being nominated for it. It is the Heisman of lacrosse, I do believe. The trophy, though, now, obviously, front of the program, Pat Kavanaugh, the Kavanaugh boys, obviously good lads.
Yeah, great lads.
Good lacrosse lads, that entire thing. And the Kavanaugh camps are going to be killer, in the future whenever they decide and figure out how to, do it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Because that seems like a business plan that's just sitting right there. Oh, everybody in your family's good? Okay. Do you just want to go town to town to town and just have camps?
Hundreds of
A lot of wealthy kids playing lacrosse.
You could just sell it out, especially going back to back as national champs. And what if Chris goes 3 straight?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, my God. Anyways, Pat Kavanaugh, good lad.
Good lad.
Happy he won the Tuarathon.
Yep.
And this is something I assume that all the greats have to have in their resume, con man, as somebody that knows the world better than me.
That is kind of the thing. This almost does solidify him as like one of, if not the greatest lacrosse player in college, damn near, especially in the last 15 years, just because of the fact that, he took a school that has never won a natty and won back-to-back. And then last year, I believe he was the runner-up to Brennan O'Neill, or he came in third. And winning this does kind of put a nice little bow on his entire career. Now we'll see if he can go win a PLL Cup with the Boston Cannons. And do I know if it's called the PLL Cup or not? No. But I do know that if he does that too on top with his older brother now, after winning with his younger brother, that would be
I think they call it the PLL ship.
The PLL ship.
You win an actual ship.
A whole boat.
With lacrosse people on the top.
Yeah, and like the mast is like a lacrosse stick and the sails are a lacrosse heads. Yeah.
We should know more about the stuff we talk about. That is a very, very valid complaint.
Well, we know.
We know.
It's just like the some of the things we don't know are small
details
in the entire.
Yeah, what they're playing
Yeah.
for. All of
Right.
them. We should know that.
They're playing for championships. We just don't know what the championship trophy is called.
That's right. And we're playing for banners up there for the Boston Kavanaugh Cannons.
Always are.
Where do they play at Gillette?
Actually, I'm not sure because this is the first time they're going to be back as like Boston as a home base. I know they played at BU for a little, but they usually do the state championships at Harvard.
Hey, congratulations though to Pat Kavanaugh.
Yeah, absolutely. Way to go, Pat.
Yeah.
Now Chris Kavanaugh is going to have to get one of those. He's going to be all by himself next year at Notre Dame, leading the boys hopefully to a third straight national championship.
I mean, if you're Chris Kavanaugh, you're making the argument that you deserve the Tuarathon because you had 81 points over your brother.
Well, and I believe if I know anything about the Kavanaughs, they're cool with it. I believe
yeah.
It's the Cash App Championship, the PLL Cash App Champion. Okay,
that's not what the trophy's called.
That is the Premier Lacrosse League.
They tweeted it out.
The Cash App Championship.
Yeah, the Cash App Championship must be the name of the natty, similar to like a Fiesta Tostitos Bowl. But I don't think
that's for the whole league. Yeah, that's.
I looked at it's called
the Cash App Champion.
PLL Cash App Championship Trophy.
Maybe Pat Kavanaugh could be a Cash App champion.
We're gonna need to change that.
Yeah,
we got
now.
Just make up a name and put it on the trophy.
Actually says it on the trophy.
The Cash App Champion.
I don't like that one bit. That grinds my gears, man. Make it like the Mikey Powell Trophy or something like that. Give me a break.
No, so obviously this is good business because we're saying it right now. This is exactly how Rabel and the boys and the entire PLL team sold this to Cash App. Be the name of our champion. Yeah, everybody's a Cash App champion.
Shouldn't it be the Rabel trophy?
Well, so, I mean, Rabel, potentially founder of league, should get a little bit of a nod somewhere. But I don't know if you should sell the championship trophy as an advertisement. I respect it. I do. And they got to do what they got to do. And they got a lot of big brains and everything like that. Selling the title is certainly that's like when the NCAA sold the D1 football championships to the BCS.
Yep.
They just sold them to the BCS. Like, we don't want the NCAA champion was the D2 champion. That's like who they were actually crowning. So they just sold the rights away to it. I don't know if Pat Kavanaugh, after winning the Tewaaraton, is as jacked up to be chasing a Cash App championship.
Yeah, but that's just for now. Wait till, Goodell gets a sniff of this, and all of a sudden you're fighting for the Apple TV Lombardi.
Okay. All right.
Maybe. You never know.
How much is Pitt paying to have that head coach's name?
$20 million.
The class of 94, Chris Bigwin.
97.
They are not the only school.
No, I know. Everybody has kind of done this. Just like the Michigan State team is actually not even Michigan State Spartans. They're the Michigan State Spartans sponsored by United Home Mortgage.
Rocket Mortgage.
Rocket
Presented
Mortgage.
by Rocket Mortgage.
That's their actual name. So coming to the court, the Michigan State Spartans presented by Rocket Mortgage. That head coach. January, February.
Ispia.
Well, no, that would be Dan Gilbert, actually.
That's the other mortgage.
Stanford has I just saw their OC in DC sponsored as well.
Dude.
Like the so-and-so family Stanford offensive coordinator.
That's awesome. I love it. Any way you can get it, go ahead and do it.
Amen.
But I don't think you should do the championship of your entire league. Hey, when you're exhausted and puking and you don't want to run another lap,
Yes, coach.
remember that fucking Cash App. That's
Run
tough.
through a brick wall, for sure.
That's tough, isn't it? That's tough.
It just shouldn't be on the actual trophy. You could call the final game the Cash App Championship.
Exactly, yeah.
When you engrave it and when it's on the actual trophy,
Immortalized it.
it's tough.
I don't think it's on there enough. I think you should
I mean,
put it
they
on
probably,
both.
they probably paid like $200 million for this or something crazy.
If they listen, I guess we should refrain from judgment until we at least hear what it is, because they might be supplying the entire league. They might be co-owner.
There should be a QR code on there where fans can send money to the PLL.
Oh, buy some beers.
Through Cash App.
Send some beers to the champions.
Yeah.
Everybody gets a day with the Cash App championship.
Oh, my God.
Where 10 cents from every Cash App interaction on that particular day goes to the player.
To the champion who has the Cash App championship that day.
Holy shit. Now it makes sense.
Love it.
I love the Cash App.
Are there QR codes on their own jerseys? Do they have like individual QR codes on the jersey so we could support them?
Dude, that guy's sick.
Hold on, Skenes.
Oh,
Pause it,
get
pause
him,
it, pause
get
it.
him.
Pause it.
Send him
They
10,
might.
10, 15, 20.
You see that
21.
goal?
$21 at least.
You just went bar down.
The Cash App Championship is later this summer. We will certainly keep an eye on it as the Boston Kavanaugh Cannons will battle against the Albany
Atlas?
Atlas. Is that what it is?
I think it's New York, Atlas,
Atlas.
but Albany's in New York, so close enough.
Yeah, I don't know if Albany has a team officially. I'm not sure. I know
That's where training camp was.
I don't think they
training
have a
camp's
city.
up there.
Joining us now is a man who would have been fantastic at lacrosse if he would have played it. And I will be excited to get his take on lacrosse because he is famous Canadian, and we know lacrosse is a Canadian sport. Ladies and gentlemen, from Spittin' Chicklets and NHL on TNT, absolute legend, Paul Bissonnette.
What's up, everybody? Great to see you.
Hey.
Thanks again for having me on.
Dude.
I'm like a regular now.
That's
Well,
every time I ask you to come on, I feel like an asshole because how often you come on. I'm very thankful that you take time to join us because
Oh,
I know.
I love it.
Okay, good. I hope that's the case because Spittin' Chicklets obviously incredibly massive and influencing the entire hockey world. And then NHL and TNT, you're on every other night for like 5-6 hours. So you make it time for us. We're very grateful for it. Now, we have a question for you. Do you know that the PLL, the Premier Lacrosse League, do you know their championship trophy, like the Lombardi, Lordo Stanley Cup, the Lombardi is not, it's the Cash App Championship. That is literally what the title, it's on the trophy is the Cash App Championship. Now, we don't know how much Cash App's paying, so we can't judge it from that. That was a wild thing to learn on this particular Feel Good Friday, Biz. How do you feel about it?
It's it's new. They're trying to get money and grow the league, so I can understand it. It's maybe not as traditional as in his other leagues trying to start off. But yeah, I don't know much about the league. That's Paul Rabel's league, though, right?
Yes, that's what we all know.
Yep.
That's what we all. Paul Rabel, dog.
Well, those charter flights don't pay for themselves, boys. So I mean, you gotta make some money somehow, right?
Amen. And Paul Rabel, keep going.
Hell yeah, Paul.
Yeah, exactly.
And we do believe, we just decided that, whenever the winner gets that thing for a day, like the Stanley Cup, you get it for a day. 10 cents of every transaction on Cash App should go to that player. Yeah, it's just something to think about. We're just thinking of ideas for the players.
Or at least the MVP.
Yeah, at least you could do.
At least.
That's
the bare minimum.
Let's go to the NHL. Stanley Cup was here the other day. It was awesome. Mira is the one that is tracking it and following it. And this year, it was a fantastic experience. It was a great experience. Now we have two series that are living up to the hype here, okay? 3-2 in the East, obviously 2-2 in the West with a big game tonight. Final four teams seem like these are the right four. Like hockey has it going right now. What have you learned thus far from both of these? I'll kind of keep it as an open slate for you. And what are your thoughts on how it's going? I think the NHL is buzzing right now, Biz.
Well, it's unreal. I agree with you guys. I don't think you could have asked for a better Final Four matchup. Let's start with the East. I think the feeling going in was Rangers were this team of destiny along with insane goaltending. They got off to that 2-1 series lead, but ultimately the Panthers are exactly who we thought they were. They're a well-oiled machine. They're big. They're physical. They don't have any weaknesses. Anytime maybe they want to take out a third or fourth liner, they have another guy who is a healthy scratch who they could put in, who's going to make just as big, if not more of an impact with fresh legs. They have great goaltending as well, but they're firing on all cylinders. And when they want to dominate a game and when they're rolling, they just seem to take over. So right now, the better team is winning in Florida. I think that they will advance, but once again, I'm not discounting the Rangers just simply based on the fact of I don't know if you've had all the things listed off that's happened the last time since they won the Stanley Cup in '94, like year of the eclipse. We had one this year, earthquake. The fact that they've won the President's Trophy, the fact that they had a natural hat trick in the playoff run with Chris Kreider. There's like 2 or 3 other ones that are just these crazy stats that added up where they won the cup in '94 and now it seems like it's their year this year. But I think the issue right now with the Rangers is it seems like Zibanejad, Panarin, I know Kreider scored last night, but those are 3 of their big guns that haven't been able to really get going this series. But that to me is more about Florida just imposing their will and maybe less about New York and what they're got going on.
The Rangers are feeling a little deja vu, you're saying, OG fans. And Kreider had a shorthanded goal last night to start the entire thing. They have like 7 shorthanded goals. Everybody else left has 8 combined or something like that. So I guess they're buzzing whenever they're on their penalty kill, whatever the case is. But yeah, it was Kreider's first point in like forever. Mm-hmm. So obviously getting off the schneid's a good thing for him. 3-2 series, anything can still happen in the East. And then let's go to the West. How about it? Here we go. McDavid and the boys come back and flip the script of how this series has kind of gone, getting beat up on early and then going bananas for the rest of the game. How do you see it finishing?
So after they went down 2 goals last game, I'm like basically ready to book my flight. I thought it was going to be over in 5, and they just were able to turn it on. And it's been such a bizarre series. I think Wayne touched on the broadcast where he's like, I don't even know what to think either. He's like, I've never seen a series like it where from period to period, you just have a different opinion on who's going to win it. Now, the last couple games before Game 4, when Edmonton ended up coming back from that 2-0 deficit, the 2 prior games, they got off to these great starts in the first 20 minutes, and then Dallas all of a sudden just came out in the second period, had it figured out, and then rattled off all these goals and then took down the win. So as it stands right now, Knobloch, who's a rookie coach, has made some pretty good adjustments. He ended up putting in Corey Perry last game. We call him the Worm. He's been around for, I'd probably say, at least 15, 16 years playing pro, if not more. He ended up making a huge impact. And it was in the mega church in Edmonton. I don't know if you guys caught the game there. That, if you get to go see a game, Pat, and the crew, if they make the finals, you guys have to make a trip there.
They won't.
Evander.
They won't.
Oh, that's Dallas Stars fan Bubba Gumpino, obviously in the back, saying don't even put that into the universe. But we've been told the Edmonton crowd, because who were we putting over? We were putting over
Winnipeg.
Winnipeg. We were talking about how awesome Winnipeg was. We're like, look at that play. That was so sweet. And everybody in Edmonton was like, you bum. This is the
no idea.
This is the place or whatever.
Oh, they get sensitive. The Canadian fans get sensitive about who cheers the loudest and who's the best. Oh, it's crazy.
Don't
It's
even
crazy
bring the
up there.
Cougars into it, brother.
Well, they're not called
Oh,
Cougars.
yeah.
They're the Canucks, asshole.
They're the Cougars.
Yeah.
Oh, great. You're going to have to go into witness protection. Their fans are probably the most batshit crazy online, is the Canucks fans.
Not just
they
online.
go the most. Well, what do you mean not just online?
I mean, there's a 30 for 30 coming out. Bait called, I'm just here for the riot.
The fire. Yeah, the riot.
Yeah, they're never going to live that down. Now, Boston Connor, we did have Pasternak on the Spit and Chicklets podcast, fresh off of a world championship with the Czech, and he called me out on my public push-up. So I gave him 20 on live Zoom.
Oh, that's great.
So I did give him 20 because I know we doubled it up. I'll still pay it forward to you when you call for the 20, but considering Pasta did it and he wanted the bet made whole, I did it then.
Love that for Pasta. The funny thing about the 20 public push-ups is that I can actually just say, just give me 2. So honestly, if you could tilt your camera down and do 2 push-ups like right now, that's more so how it works than 20 straight.
I love that Pasta said not all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to see all of them.
I don't want to lose my internet connection here, but
Smart.
You guys could keep going when.
Pasta also was drinking on stage with his baby. Yeah, you saw that video and his wife. It was an absolute.
What was that, World Championship?
Yeah, World Championship, which is kind of interesting. They don't do it with everybody.
Last time somebody,
2, 3, stop.
Oh, he's gonna go.
4,
he's gonna do 20.
Stop.
I got a few extra.
Now you stole a couple. That's smart.
All right.
Smart play by you.
Extra for you.
15 left.
We'll save the next 15 for another time
Go for
when you guys ask me to come on tomorrow.
Yeah, shout out to Pasta.
Shout out Pasta.
Yeah, I'll ask you tomorrow to come on, dude. We got a big Saturday program tomorrow. Biz, to be honest, during these times, we didn't play hockey. So do we need to be the ones talking? No. So you coming on, you make our show a lot better. We genuinely appreciate it.
You guys probably know more about hockey than I do, to be quite frank.
Shut up.
I appreciate that.
Well, let's get down to being stupid-ass fans then. Tone has a question for you.
Yeah, Biz, you obviously didn't play the goalie position, but Igor has seen just a shit ton of shots this series. Is there any chance that he's getting a little sleepy, he's getting a little tired, and that's going to be what decides the end of the series?
Yeah, fatigue could definitely come into it. I mean, the good news for him though is about halfway through the year he'd been struggling a little bit. So Jonathan Quick took over, and they were at least sharing the net. So the fact that he really didn't have to kick it into high gear for all that volume until the second half of the season, I think is huge for him. So. But I agree with you. The amount of work that Florida's putting through, especially in this round, and then even going back to the Carolina Hurricanes series where they throw a ton on net, right? So you always have to be alert.
Rubber on net.
I definitely agree with you. But the good thing that Wayne talked about this as well, as far as the goalies remaining, he's the best at reading the play. Like he can understand where the player is going to end up either making that pass or coming in direct, where maybe some goalies, they just focus on stopping the puck, where maybe they don't have that ability to understand how it's all breaking down. He just seems to be able to have that talent with seeing everything in front of him. And I think that makes it a little bit easier on him to make those reads. And of course, his skating. Henrik Lundqvist, Hall of Famer, unbelievable goaltender for the New York Rangers. He's on the TNT broadcast. He always just talks about how good his skating is, like how good he is on those edges, where more so the goalies are oftentimes on that inside edge, where we have to use like inside and outside edge more. He is just always down and athletic and ready to go. So he's an alien in net. Like that's what we say. He's just remarkable. And I hope that that's not the case, because I would like to see this series go to 7.
It's fun watching them. A lot of these teams are dumping rubber, dude.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of people dumping rubber, on the net, just so much, plowing through it.
A lot of rubber dumping.
A lot of rubber dumping in there, Madison Square Garden. Igor Shesterkin's ready for all the rubber you can hit.
Always.
All the rubber you can set all day, all night.
He chooses to.
I like the fact. So we should be viewing him as like the guy, Igor, the way you talk there.
I would say that if any GM had the ability to draft a goalie, if like they were all available, I would probably imagine that he would go first. Jake Ottinger, for the Dallas Stars is probably another guy just based on his pedigree too. Like they have him listed at like 6'5". Sometimes they say he's 6'6", but he also just moves very fluid and he's always in the right position. He did have a tough game last game, but he would probably be another guy just based on his age and with what he does. And they talk about that reverse VH a lot and how maybe it's overused and how goalies go down a little bit too early. But the fact is when you're 6'5" and 6'6", when you're in that position, you cover the top of the net quite a bit. So he just doesn't really have many flaws. And also a guy who extremely calm demeanor, never too high, never too low. If you're interviewing him after a big win, he's just heartbeats the same. So that to me is a big quality in a goaltender where
and his stick makes saves all by itself.
Perfect.
That too. That too.
It's
that cost the people quite a bit of dough because a lot of people had McDavid anytime goal scorer, especially in a legacy game like that where it was a must win for the Oil. Look at him on the bench, just rattled.
What a bunch of crap. That's what he said.
Bullshit.
Bunch of crap.
Get out of here.
What'd you say happened to Otter there, Gump? I heard you chime in.
They were running him and splashing snow in his face. Typical Edmonton bullshit.
Good move.
What's that all
Hey, Knobloch's so smart. How come he had these guys scratched to begin with, Biz?
What? Oh God! So going back to the snowing, I didn't really see that. Like the one goal that they scored that Perry was involved in, where McLeod ended up scoring it. To me, it was more of Ryan Suter being a little bit out of position. And then he actually arm locks Darnell Nurse and throws him into Ottinger. And if you watch the replay, you could see it's actually Tanev's stick who pokes that puck loose. So it was a bit of a gong show as far as his own team there messing things up. So maybe some accountability might help. I don't know.
No, it wasn't on the goal. It was the late. It was after that, Biz.
Yeah.
Jeez,
Was it later on?
Brother. Come on.
Okay. Oh, watch it. Well, hey, I didn't know.
Hey, at least everybody loves Darnell Nurse again in Edmonton, right? They wanted that guy kicked out of the city 24 hours ago.
Mason Rudolph
they were
face turn in the city as well. That's going to happen in sports.
They had the tiki torches out, no doubt. And his teammate Connor Brown defended him quite nice after the game. But going back to your question about why did they have him scratch originally, Corey Perry, the Worm, was one of those guys who was inserted. He's a little bit older, doesn't necessarily have those young legs. He's not a spring chicken anymore. But the fact that Knobloch, a great move by not just putting him in on the fourth line where he had been, but putting him up with Draisaitl and bringing him more into the game early. That was one thing that Wayne touched on the broadcast, and it worked out big time. So I know that you're chirping him for not having those guys in originally, but I think for a rookie coach, there's been a lot of times he's made a drastic move in these playoffs, and it's actually paid off, and not just putting him in, but putting him in the right spot. So I gotta compliment him. But hey, listen, they're going back to Dallas. They got the glass banger. They got Tits McGee. I think that I personally have it 51-49 right now for the Oilers, just based on the mojo.
No.
And a very key potential loss was Tanev leaving that game in Game 4.
Pete said he's ready, brother. Pete said he's going to be ready.
They say he's very optimistic about him playing in Game 5, so that's huge. Rumor is that he might have a hairline fracture in his foot, but if they don't have Tanev, I don't think they can win this series.
Okay.
That's my opinion.
Well, when Texas hockey wins tonight, make sure say how good they are. Just
okay,
I love it. You guys are chippy back there.
Forget.
No, not you
show
guys.
Texas hockey some love. They're a good squad.
You should hear how he thinks about Edzo. I mean, Eddie Olczyk has ended up in. He thinks that
guy went from Vegas to Colorado to Edmonton. What did Texas hockey do to Edzo, Biz?
Okay,
I get the feeling that the Dallas fans are turning into Canadian fans.
I am Canadian.
They're like, you haven't shown us love all season long. It's like, what are you talking about? You've been one of the best teams all season long.
I never said that. I just said this series. You're gassing up Knobloch like the guy's a goddamn genius. Come on.
I'm speaking for all Texas hockey fans online. Why are you talking about our team more? It's like, we do. What else is to say? You're a wagon. You guys are built 4 lines. You have two first lines. That's how deep you are. You got these young rookies in Stankhoven, the stanky leg, do the stanky leg, do the. Then you got Wyatt Johnston, firing goals in left and right.
Living
and
at
then
Pop's house.
Hey, the wily vets too. How about Jamie Benn and Tyler Seguin? I think going into last game, since the beginning of the second round, combined for like 19 points. Texas hockey fans are ready to put these guys on waivers for buyout 2 years ago.
Said that. I love my team.
Come
Hey,
on,
Jamie
Dom.
Ben's from Victoria, brother. I'll never turn my back.
Well, anyways,
That's true.
We're about to end our time on ESPN. We'll continue on YouTube, ESPN Plus, TikTok. And speaking of TikTok, needs to survive. That clock is ticking. We'll have a long weekend here of watching hockey be fantastic. And I'm sure there's a golf tournament. Is there a golf tournament?
Yeah, the RBC up in Canada.
Oh, there it is.
Up in Canada.
here we go.
A big Canadian weekend. We'll obviously enjoy the hell out of that. And we'll watch Spit and Chicklets all weekend, too, so we can get more and more of this man, Biz Nasty, who will continue the chatter on the other side. We can't thank you enough for allowing us to do this for a living. AJ, any final thoughts as we send off the TV?
Yeah, AJ, you didn't say anything. What's going on?
Well, I didn't say much, Biz. I don't have a whole lot to say, but I do enjoy hockey and enjoy what you do, Biz. You're doing great.
How about to the people, AJ?
Hey, I appreciate that, buddy.
We got no time. See you Monday. All right, jeez. All right, we're stopped. Let's get back into this. You just brought up some of those Dallas fans and Dallas things. Ty, this was one of the stories of the playoffs, actually. Ty has a question for you, Biz.
Yeah, Biz, is it safe to say that your rivalry with the Glass Banger is now done after you guys did that incredibly awkward interview when WWE superstar Jackie Redmond brought him up and everyone kind of assumed, hey, he's going to give it to Biz right now. He's going to talk a bunch of shit. He didn't. He kind of just stood there, didn't really say much. You were like, what the fuck's this guy doing up here? Have you guys squashed that beef or?
No.
Okay. So, I mean, what's going on there? Because I kind of just assumed, after that little interaction, okay, it's over. These guys are the best of friends now.
So that wasn't even planned. He just found out where the TNT crew was and where Jackie was, and he kind of inserted himself, and I could see his right arm getting in the shot. Like his blazer, you could see his white blazer. So I was like pointing it out to Wayno because his father owns a place at Gosser where Wayne lives in the summer. So Wayne knows this guy a little bit and he's met him. They've taken pictures before. So when we said that, Liam kind of heard us talking. So he asked Jackie, who's that guy? And then Glassbanger popped up, and then he was trying to play tummy sticks with us, sending us like the heart emojis and shit, where I thought that he was going to come in slinging, but he didn't. And then afterward online, then he started talking trash again. So he didn't bring that same energy that he had on Twitter to the broadcast, and then all of a sudden after he was spouting off again. So
he couldn't get a word out.
Yeah, he was
literally could not get a word out.
They were alleging some things about him potentially, but he also could have froze up. He could have froze up. Could have just froze.
Alleging. Oh yeah, I mean, I think he's a few sandwiches short of a picnic, but I mean, good guy nonetheless. I'm sure behind the scenes, and well, I'm sure I'll get to see him when he's at Gosser this summer.
Yeah, I'm sure you will. It'll be great interactions if he can get the words out. There's a chance.
You sandwiches.
Pretty good.
Yeah, that's a guy's great one.
That is WWE superstar Jackie Redmond.
It is.
He's the best. She's the hardest working person in hockey right now.
She's at Monday Night Raw, and then she's at every game seemingly for you guys as well. She's doing interviews. I don't know how she does it, to be honest with you, but the coverage has been amazing. And this dude just got locked up, right? The lights came on, he couldn't do it anymore. The mustache ended up shutting the trap.
Yeah, he got jammed up. Live TV. Sometimes that happens to people, right? Not everybody's built for this, Pat. You know.
Glassbanger's not built for it.
Yeah,
he's not built for it. He thinks he is, but he's not built for it.
No, he thinks he wants something with old Biz Nasty. He has no idea. He has no idea what he's signing up for.
No. I don't have a problem. Maybe we should do a WWE match, me and Glassbanger. I'm sure you could organize that.
Certainly. I mean, you just put it out in the universe. We can make it happen. I do worry, though, that Glassbanger will fucking break his neck out. He freeze up.
Yeah.
This guy couldn't even talk in front of a microphone. I couldn't even imagine what he would do in a WWE ring.
Have a heart attack.
Suplex by Biz.
Oh, he shit his pants. Oh, my
he could
God.
bring a few of his pay-for-play ladies with him, too, as his ring girls, if he wants.
Maybe
I don't know if you guys have heard about that, too. He likes to bring in the back pages ladies, give him a free seat. He never recycles either.
He takes them
he's
to
like
games?
Igor. He's like Igor taking all that rubber.
Dumping rubber. That's
Dumping rubber, baby.
Hopefully.
That's Glassbanger hockey, baby. That Dallas
or he's got a Z-Pack handy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't want to be getting the old dick cold. We're probably getting fined for this.
No.
What do you mean?
It's all very free. I mean, it's all very valid points here. Because Glassbanger,
as long as it's true,
is a massive piece of that American Airlines Center energy.
Yes.
That Texas hockey is going to need, especially with what's going on up there in the Edmonton Church. You called it. I mean, Glassbanger's going to have to bring his best stuff, and however he gets himself ready for those games, whether it's the back page, the front page, middle page, or a mirror. Some people were saying he was looking at pretty closely. It's a wild time. We appreciate the hell out of you, Biz. Keep killing it, brother.
Hey, we appreciate you. Thank you so much for having me on, boys.
Hey, tell Pasta we appreciate him for those 20 push-ups.
That's incredible.
That's sweet.
I will.
Paul,
love you, boys. Thank you so much.
Yeah, Biz.
He said he was on drugs.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Cocaine.
Yeah, cocaine.
I mean, wearing that.
Alleging he was on drugs.
That blazer, that stash, I could see it.
He's on the pay-for-play game. All right, let's get to
so
a break.
he said he doesn't recycle them either. What brings new people?
I think that's what he says. All right, we'll wrap up all the storylines that we did not talk about this week on the other side. And then we'll send the world, hopefully, that is watching into the greatest weekend of all time.
Hell yeah.
Why not? The weather's getting good.
It is.
It's like kind of chilled down a little bit.
Perfect right now. 75.
Beautiful.
We're in a good spot.
Yes.
They are saying potential rain,
all day tomorrow.
Yeah, here in Indianapolis, and then rain in North Carolina next week, too.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Early Doppler for the
Sloppy
soccer tournament. Well, I'm not just worried about that. We're supposed to do a show live from a field down there.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
That hurts.
Metal.
Yep.
And I don't know how many inside things are down at this.
I'll call Mother. She'll take care of it.
Miss Nature? I hope she does. All right, we'll be back on the other side. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice that might change your life. Take 5.
Bye.
Here's Richardson. He takes it in for his first NFL touchdown.
Ooh. I mean, we're hot right now. For Beast Stew! I mean, this is... Oh, shit, boards down there. Thanks for coming on the show, Beast Stew. Thanks for coming on the show. Made me a better basketball player already. Hey, we're gonna fucking smoke some.
Hell yeah.
Y'all get it out of your system now because I'm going to annihilate your asses. Just saying.
We can't get lapped. That is hey, Pat, deal? Can't get lapped. Boys, nobody can get lapped.
Let's go.
Team on 3, team on me, 1, 2, 3. Team.
Oh, you're all in trouble.
Actual, you think you'll lap one person, 2 people, how many people?
I say at least one.
Laps one person will donate $25,000 to a charity of his choice. If he laps 2 people, it'll be $50,000 to a charity of your choice. And if you don't lap anybody, it's on you to give $10,000.
Deal.
All right, here we go. Hey, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Good luck. Hey, boys. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Warm up them tires. Let me warm up them tires. Let me warm up them tires. Here we go. You are awesome, dude. You know, there's professionals at things. There's professional walkers, believe it or not. They're in the Olympics. They're speed walkers. They walk better than we do, even though every human knows how to walk. There's professional eaters, okay? Every human on earth eats. They're better than you are at eating somehow. Everybody drives. This motherfucker drives. Thank you so much for coming, Tony.
Yes, sir.
Didn't laugh any of us, though. 10 grand to donation, but he definitely smoked us. Hey, that's called getting smoked by smoke.
Oh, Bill! Oh, Bill's gonna blow it! Oh, no! Oh, no! Oh, no! Oh, no! Oh! Oh! Oh, no! Oh, no, Bill!
For you, did you know you would be good in front office? Did you know that this was going to be something you would succeed at?
I didn't know I'd be good at it. I didn't even know I'd be doing it. It's an interesting story as to how I ended up here. I ask myself that often. Way back when I was a kid, I did love like the NFL draft. My dad used to pull me out of school. Out of half day, he'd come pick me up at lunch. We'd go watch the draft. So I loved that. Throughout my career, I'd piss my wife off by not only watching round 1 through 3, but then watching round 7. And I'm filling out sheets. And I think the thing that probably piqued my interest, I was living in Denver after I got done playing there. I'd become friendly with Elway. We played some golf together and he looked out for me. We had the same high school coach. We went to Stanford, played football, baseball, same fraternity. That was like the poster on my wall. But Elway took the leap at the Broncos. And in his first year, he said, Johnny, you know, I'm keeping a lot of the scouts, but I don't know them. I love the way you think about football. Could you watch the safeties this year and write some reports? And so I did that for him. Remember, it was the year of like Mark Barron and Harrison Smith. And I took a lot of pride in, I had no idea how scouts did things, but I just watched it like I would watch film, and I sat there at the computer and wrote some reports, and Elway was blown away with like the detail. If I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it right. The next year he says, that was awesome, Johnny, why don't you do the DBs? So I did the entire DBs. I added the corners. The next year he invites me in for their draft process. It was a lot of work. It was a lot of time. I went to Indy. I went to the combine with the Broncos that year. So that started piquing my interest. Long after that, there was a guy who ended up bidding for the Carolina Panthers, and he didn't get the team. Tepper got it, but there was another gentleman by the name of Ben Navarro, and I worked with his brother at Fox, and he one time asked if he could meet with me, and out of the blue asked me if I would run his team if he got the Panthers. And I said, really? Are you serious? And he asked me to kind of put together a vision statement for how I would run a team, and so I spent a couple weeks doing that. I met with him, and from that point forward, I kind of just said, if the right scenario ever came about, this might be something I want to do. I was missing like competition. I was missing scoreboard. I was missing the wins, the losses, all of that. Out of nowhere, something was keeping me up at night one year. I didn't even know what it was, and my wife said, something's on your mind. I know you when you're acting like this. You can't sleep. And I had done a bunch of Falcon games that year, and Kyle Shanahan was the offensive coordinator. It's the year they went to the Super Bowl against the Patriots, and I heard something like Kyle Shanahan's going to get this Niners job, and that's the one he wants. But somebody said he's struggling to find a GM he wants to work with, and so something was on my mind. I had done a bunch of Kyle's games that year, and I gave him a cold call, and I just said, hey, dude, I want to thank you for all the time you've given me all year in these production meetings. I heard something that you're struggling to find a GM. And he goes, I am, man, it's killing me. I think I am going to take that Niners job. And he goes, why are you asking? And I said, well, consider me. I don't even know if I do it, but just think about that and see what you think. And his first question, he's like, dude, why would you do that? You got a great job. You got a great life. Like, why would you even consider doing that? I said, you go play your games. He did. He called back and he said, man, I can't stop thinking about what you said to me. Would you do that? And I want you to come meet this dude named Jed. Well, that dude named Jed was our owner here, Jed York. Came and met Jed. We flew cross country to Atlanta. I was offered the job on that flight. We meet with Kyle and the whole thing's wrapped up. I hadn't even talked to my wife or family yet. It all moved kind of fast, and here we are 8 years later. So sorry for the long story.
No.
No.
I'm hoping we get 3 or 4 more of those. That was phenomenal. Hey, thank you for blessing us with that information. And also, shout out to you being somebody taking initiative and being like, you know what? Yeah, this is something I want. And diving right in and being prepared and knowing that you're...
Probably the most interesting trade was the Randy Moss trade. After the draft, the first day of the draft, we've been trying to trade for Randy Moss for 2 months. All like childbirth. I mean, it took forever. After the first day of the draft, I talked to Mr. Davis. I said, are we going to make a deal or not? And he said, yeah, we'll do it. We'll do it for your 4th. And I think we were picking like 7th in the 4th round. I said, well, we got to get the guy in for a physical. We can't take his contract. We're going to have to renegotiate his contract. And Mr. Davis said, well, that's your problem. If you want to trade for him, then you get it done. I said, all right. I call up Randy. Hey, Randy, it's Coach Belichick. Boom. Hangs up the phone. What? Let me try this again. Randy, it's Coach Belichick. Who is this? Who's pranking me? Who is this? Bam. Hangs up the phone. Randy, this is Coach Belichick. We traded for you. What? Is this a joke? This better not be a joke. Who is this? No. This is, all right. Really? I said, yeah, but look, we got to get this done by tomorrow at noon. He goes, all right, what do I need to do? I said, you need to come up and take a physical, and we need to renegotiate your contract. It's by noon? Yeah. He goes, well, I'm in Houston now, but I got a plane. I'll be there. Nice. He flies, and he's there at 8 o'clock in the morning, comes in and takes the physical. You know, the old...
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Make sure he's
alive.
alive.
Okay, you're good. Renegotiate the contract. We're done at 10 o'clock. And first thing he says to me is, where's the playbook?
Oh, that's awesome.
I said, right here. He said, okay, because when I walk out there with the first team with Brady, I got to know all the plays. I can't go out there and make mental errors and screw up. I got to know his offense. And he was smart now. This guy was smart. On this post-safety coverage, what are you going to do? He goes, Coach, you ain't going to see any post-safety coverage against me. Like, oh. He goes, you're going to see cover 2. We haven't seen cover 2 in years. He's like, you're going to see cover 2. And he was right. And then he would say, well, here's how I'd run this route. Here's how I'd run that route. And I started thinking, like, we got to start giving Randy some routes. We're running this, and they play cover 2. How we can move him into the slot. He's like, move me into the slot. I said, yes, you can get in the middle of cover 2. He's like, all right, good. 25 touchdowns.
So many.
Yeah.
Opens up the running game, too.
But I'm telling you, it was... Randy, come on, man. I'm trying to...
Hey.
Why?
Let's go.
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers, you pig! Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life. Sport! Hello, beautiful people. And welcome back to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this Feel Good Friday, May 31st, 2024. Hour 3 of the program starts now. Sport! What a day it is.
Hell yeah.
What a day it is. That's AJ Hawk. Obviously, this man is a champion in college and in the pros, and he's the current president of Ohio. What's your next thing you're going to do? What's your next thing you're going to do for Ohio?
I think every time you have Kirk on, you even say Kirk is the president of Ohio. So it's up to Herb Street. Let's see what his agenda looks like.
Two presidents. You guys are two
You
presidents.
can't have two presidents. You know, you have two quarterbacks, you have none.
Okay,
You know
so why'd Ryan Day do it then? Is that a sign?
Yeah,
Is that
could
a
be.
sign? Is that, you tell me, AJ. So you're
I don't know if Ryan Day does that. I don't know if he anoints the next president of Ohio because they don't technically have them.
Who was standing up there and gave you the president title?
There's no president title, but a couple years ago, some kind of Ohio award that I did get, but then they give it to somebody else every single year.
Oh, so you're no longer the president? When did that end?
No, never was.
No, you were. You were the depiction of Ohio excellence, I think, is what the award was, if I do recall. Like, this is the model Ohio. This is, if you wanted to be Ohio, this is what you would be. Yeah. Congrats, AJ Hawk, Kirk Herbstreit.
Bingo. Yeah.
That's what it was, right? You guys wear a jacket? You guys get a green jacket?
I did not. Kirk may have gotten one, though. He may have. I don't know.
Wait, so there's a different president now.
I didn't know that. I didn't know. Two? Who did Ryan Day?
I'm not sure. I was at the clinic this year. We did like a roundtable thing. I don't know who they gave this to.
The Ohio's finest. It is the finest.
It's Brenneman's
It's the finest Ohioan.
Could be Tom Brenneman.
Yeah, him and Vrabes.
Well,
I don't think so. Vrabes might have won it. I mean, Vrabes could be.
He has for sure.
Especially just coaching for free up in Cleveland.
Yeah, Bobby Carpenter's been campaigning for years, but they just won't give it to him.
How come Ryan Day won't give the General Bob Carpenter the Ohio's finest trophy?
Bob probably got it 10 years ago. You know, Bob lives over there at the Woody Hayes Athletic Center.
How is Ohio doing right now? Pretty good?
The whole state, like everybody?
Yeah.
Feels like everyone's doing pretty well. Yeah, the weather's nice. Like it feels like at night, it's like a fall night. Feels like Friday night football almost right now, so it's good.
That's what ours is like too. Obviously, we're pretty close. The Midwest weather right now, phenomenal.
Awesome.
And the nighttime.
Rain's coming though.
Yeah, and it's going
you don't know.
be hotter than fucking shit in like 2 weeks.
Well, after the rain, then, now there's
You need one day of rain.
thickness.
Yeah.
Rain's good.
Yeah.
Rain makes corn.
Corn makes whiskey.
You definitely need rain.
Yeah.
Understand that. But we've had a lot of rain over like the last 4 months here.
Yeah.
I'm okay with us getting into a little bit of a drought. No offense to the farmers. The farmers need rain. And I think hopefully they've already had enough of their rain over the last 2 weeks. It's been
no doubt.
a lot of rain or whatever. So let's make sure we're keeping the crops and the corn. We need to be knee high by the 4th of July. Let's make sure we're getting all that stuff. But I would like it to remain like this, right? This is like spring. Feels like there's a spring. We haven't had spring in a few years.
No, we haven't.
Everything, it's gone winter right to holy shit, it is so hot. And there's been no real in-between time. This feels like an in-between time, but I fear it's going to come and go pretty quickly.
Yeah, I mean, tomorrow's June 1st. Once June gets here, we're in the middle of it.
Yeah, but hey, it's much better than the alternative.
I like the heat. I'm in on it being hot out, but this temperature now, it's to Ty's point. We should take advantage because it is so perfect.
It is. So let's make sure we chat about everything we have to chat about, and then we let people get out into the beautiful weather.
Yeah,
it's
some
right
vitamin
outside
D.
this building that we're in right now. Coach Tobe, Kansas City Chiefs special teams coordinator, one of the greatest of all time in the special teams world, will always be heralded as such. I think he's been up for multiple head coaching positions, and if you're a special teams coordinator and you're getting head coaching interviews, that's obviously a massive amount of respect being shown to you by the entire NFL. He had a press conference, and he broke down basically some changes they're going to make because of the new kickoff that is instituted, and we haven't chatted about it much. Not a lot of people have chatted about it much, but I think a lot of the coaches and players that are in the NFL that are working on it all right now are thinking it could be a massive change in how the game is being played, and it could be an advantage if you do take advantage of it. Here's Coach Tobe of the Kansas City Chiefs talking about the changes.
I like to have somebody that can go back, is able to make a tackle. I mean, Bucker is able to make a tackle, but I really don't want him making tackles all year long. If you watch the XFL, we watched every play. I bet kickers were involved in probably at least 25 to 40% of the tackles. Either trying to make a guy bounce back or making the tackle itself or just missing the tackle. So, we don't want Bucker in that situation, but he will be a kicker. He'll be a guy that we will use in certain situations. He's got a lot of ability to move the ball, whereas those other guys may not be as, apt at doing that. And, we'll use him. He can still kick a touchback if we need it. You're just giving up the ball. If we do kick a touchback out of the back of the end zone, now they're getting it out to 30 instead of the 25. So that 5 yards makes a big difference. I mean, that's another 3% chance that, you're giving the offense against you to score. So.
What's the early evaluation on guys like Justin Reed and even?
Well, Justin can cover. I mean, he can kick, which he can do, and then he can go down there and make tackles. He's an extra guy that they're probably not accounting for. They know that guy can go down and tackle, but a guy like Justin is a guy that they have to worry about. You have to get him blocked, and they have to give up blocking somebody else. So, that's the whole thought of that.
Is it something about different kicking styles that might help you out as you're doing this?
It's really, hang time doesn't matter at all now. So hang time is out the door. I mean, you could do it, but it's not, doesn't mean anything. But, so now it's about accuracy, seeing what you're getting, how the returners are lined up, and then trying to kick away from them in the corners. But you can't take too much of a risk, because if you hit it out of bounds, now you're giving the ball up at the 40. If you hit it short of the target zone, you're giving the ball to the 40. So, I mean, there's a fine line between, pushing the limits, the edges, and then, or just going down and saying, hey, we can cover it. We're going to, give them a ball that they can cover, and then go down there with a kicker that can cover. So,
is there any benefit to touchbacks now at all?
Yeah, there's benefit. I mean, if you're trying to get out of a game, you're up. You don't want to give up a possibility of a turnover, or a big return against you. You just bang it out of the bat. You just say, hey, we're going to give up the 5 yards and give them the ball at the 30, which Bucker can do. I mean, obviously, he can.
Lot. And this is, I don't think people fully comprehend it. Whenever you make a change to the special teams rules, which has been happening over the last few years, these special teams coordinators, they watch the same amount of film as the offense and defensive coordinator somehow. When you think about that, they figure out a way. That's why they are the special teams coordinators. There's only 32 of those jobs. There's a lot of money to be made in that particular world, and there's a lot of games to be won if you do your job very well. And there's long careers that are had by people, but they are obsessed with football, and they're trying to find every little thing, every little advantage to make their team better, because that's what special teams can be. And Tobe's obviously doing that as we speak, AJ.
Yeah, a guy like Justin Reed, I mean, it's interesting. Like, that seems very valuable to have somebody that can. Because not if they don't even have to make the tackle. You have to just kind of be there and watch how everything's playing out and see, okay, this one might bust. Like, I need to know where I need to turn it back to. I need to know, hey, this can't get outside of me. I need to push this to my outside help, whatever it may be. Even if you don't make the tackle, you need to be like in the body position to force him to all the other 10 guys that are chasing him. But also at the same time, like we're counting on these kickers to have like pinpoint accuracy now. So this is going to be fun. Like honestly, the more I hear about it, the more excited I am to watch it happen and see how it plays out.
Pinpoint accuracy is on the depth. That's what it is. It's like, whenever you're hitting a green, you got to obviously put it in the right direction because the green is so small, but also you have to have the right distance. Like that's a massive piece of it is how is your distance and control. Like that is what the game is now, your distance control. Now, obviously he said you're going to want to hit one right maybe so we know it's going right, but there's only a certain amount of people that are allowed on each side of the hash marks anyways, and they're already sub. So like, is the advantage the guy that you have who's a special teams weapon? Like if you have a Slater on your team, it's like, okay, we're going to hit the ball at least towards that particular player, or are we not? And he also mentioned, and that's a valid point, like if you have Justin Reed out there as a safety, he obviously can kick. We've seen him kick field goals. We've seen him kick off. We've seen this happen before whenever position players will kick off for a team because the kicker gets hurt and the punter isn't able to do it because the punter grew up in Australia and never kicked a ball off the ground, has always been punting their entire life. They have to account for Justin Reed now too, with their counts whenever they're blocking people. So you might be able to avoid a double team on somebody because they got to go block Justin Reed, and now you're able or more likely to make a tackle. It's wild because kicker is not allowed past the 50-yard line until ball is touched, until play begins, because that was like one of my first questions to Coach Riz down there at the Saints whenever he was laying it out before it got approved. It was like, okay, so the kicker just hits and we're down there. That you're down in there, not allowed to go past the 50 until the ball's touched. It's like, okay, you could definitely see why you'd want an athlete who can kick a ball back there. And that XFL stat, and Foxy pointed this out this morning. He said, we watch all of them. 20 to 25% of the plays, the kicker was involved. And it's like, that's a lot of action.
Yeah.
And with some of these kickers in the league, it's not a problem. Like there's a lot of very athletic dudes kicking balls in the league now. I had like 20-some tackles. I don't even think I have the most in the history. I think Bosher had 20-something. Neil Rackers back in the day used to literally run down the field. Like there has been kickers that have made tackles, but there's also some kickers that like
shouldn't be attempting to make a tackle.
Now in like Bucker, very thin, give speeches.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. People know him for his speeches.
Mm-hmm. Not thin.
People
Not thin speeches.
They were the thick speeches, very long.
Yep.
Seemingly just went on and
on and on and on and on and on and on.
But he is a very thin guy, very jacked guy, but he's a very vital piece of their offense because he is a weapon. Like Harrison Butker can hit from far, and Harrison Butker hits that shit right, just like Justin Tucker. Justin Tucker, another thin guy, smaller guy, and he is a fucking weapon for the Baltimore Ravens. It's like punters that kick off, probably going to become a little bit more of a thing because no offense to the kicking community, the punters are much more athletic than the kickers are. We have to catch a ball naturally, so that's just an added thing that has to take place. Normally bigger, punters are normally bigger people. I was like the shortest punter in the NFL and able to move, and a lot of Aussies come from Aussie rules football and rugby where they tackle, so it's like probably a lot more punters kicking off, if not positional players, and that's just something we haven't even thought of. And now as these special teams coordinators are diving into it, it's going to be more and more and more changes, I think.
Yeah, especially we saw a situation with destroying that kind of stinks, but it's like, do those guys need to now do tackling drills? Like for shoot, do kickers need to participate in like angles?
For safety.
Yeah, for safety. Yeah. From like, and just taking the proper angles and
keep your head up.
If you
need
adjusted,
to. Yeah. We're not spearing. You ain't Bill Goldberg. You know what I mean? That ain't.
Be a speed bump. Just be a speed bump. Try to trip him up.
That whole, you said learning how to, and you're talking about it too, is like forcing guys back and learning angles and things like that. There's one play that people on the internet put into highlights. And thank you all so much for. Those are very cool to watch. I sit down and there'll be like a highlight reel that somebody's put together where they're either voicing it over in a hilarious way or there's music behind it, and it's like nice to be reminded. Like that is, that is pretty cool. I could move without pulling a hamstring from taking a dump. Like that is.
Just saw one of those the other day of you.
Very cool. Very cool. I'm very thankful for the people that do that. It's very nice of you. It does make me feel good whenever I watch it. It's especially now with training for TST. But there's one against the Denver Broncos where I just decleat the blocker. Like I just fuck it. Just gonna hit the blocker square in his chest. In my head, I was like, I'm gonna hit blocker into returner. That's what I thought. I was in my head. I thought that much through. I'm like,
happened to me a few times too. Yeah, it doesn't work out all the time.
No, it did not. There was no way science-wise it was gonna work either with how fast he was. But I did, because he didn't think I was doing that either. So like I caught him off guard, and I do send him a little bit, but the guy just scores a touchdown. I mean, it's just, because I'm down, that guy's down, and guy scores a touchdown. And Chuck goes up to me after, he's like, be a fucking football player. Can we bring him back? Oh, you hit a guy. Can we bring him back to where everybody else is? And I'm like, in my brain, Chuck, I thought I was.
You see that fucking hit? What do you mean?
I thought I was going to tackle him off of a guy. In my head, I was like, is this going to be the most awesome tackle of all time? But I get it. Yeah, force him back. My help's inside. Got it. Got it. That's on me.
With like Reed, though, I mean, could you imagine if Justin Reed does read a, return perfectly and he has a 25-yard head start from the 50-yard line and he meets a guy in the hole? Like, that would also be a
now all of a sudden
collision.
What the NFL doesn't want.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like that's
Tobe, as soon as the NFL is like, well, we need to get rid of these full running starts with big time guys who aren't scared to hit and like make actual boom, boom, boom. That's where the problems are. So we're gonna keep everybody together so that they can't get the big build up, and then it's more like a punt return. You're running alongside each other, and the special teams coordinator is like, gotcha, bitch. We got actually the most.
We got a safety.
We got the guy who's the most likely to do it. Oh, imagine these safeties. Like coming into the league, like force shoot. Might want to just
start picking around.
You don't have to worry about hang time. You don't have to worry about any of that. You just think, okay, here we. But the big difference is going to be outdoors, though. Think about outdoors: wind against you, wind at your back, or into the wind, swirling wind. Like you're going to want to kick indoors if you're a kicker. That's you always have, but. I think that'd be a big advantage.
The only reason why I don't say are linebackers all wearing like speeds right now? They are, huh?
Pretty
linebackers,
much,
everybody wears speeds seemingly.
Linebackers are like 220 and freak athletes and run 4.3s now.
I'm talking about the cleats they're wearing, the low top, right? Everybody's seemingly wearing low top. Everybody except for what? Linemen.
Yeah, linemen for sure.
Seemingly. So the issue is if you have those like mid-range shoes and you hit that, you hit it fat. That's going to land. Yeah. That's not going to make it to the landing. Then the ball's on the 40. That's like a massive.
And you're not going to change shoes as a linebacker. You're going to change your right shoe and in and out and do all that.
Yeah, so I think like that's an actual thing to think about. Like, okay, who can possibly run and hit this thing inside the landing zone on a regular basis? Because if you get an extra weapon covering, you're going to want it. And with how it's set up, there's going to be a lot of...
There's going to be returns, man. People are going to get caught with not having discipline in your fill lanes and everything, running behind each other. Yep, you peeked the wrong way, whatever. That's all it takes, and since they're all kind of at the same level, we're gonna. It's like 4th and 1 when someone loads the box and dude breaks it for 75 because there's no help behind it.
Okay, so the way this normally goes, and you're gonna have to work with me because this is not a dry erase sport, but 5 on each side. Okay, on a kickoff. Here's the kicker back here. The moon.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
The moon is the kicker.
We went there.
Yep.
Goddamn right.
1969.
That's the moon.
Are we? How did that? Why was it such a clear audio?
Because we have the best fucking equipment in the world.
That's NASA.
I was talking to somebody in California this morning.
Mm-hmm.
Every other word. Driving through, whatever mountains they have over there.
We don't want to get into these goddamn 5G cell towers.
I was just gonna say we don't want to discuss why Verizon was down yesterday.
This is NASA, brother.
Anyway, fuck it.
Do you think it's gonna be like gunners on the kickoff team and just put as many tight ends out there on the return team?
No, so I think it's gonna be bigger guys that are just gonna. I think they're gonna
on kickoff.
I think they're gonna hold line. I think they're just gonna wait
or return.
I think it's gonna I think there's gonna be a couple guys that are gonna be attackers, but I think a lot of people are gonna be two gapping.
Yeah,
I think
you're gonna be setting picks out there if you're on offense. I think just don't let them cross your face, whatever it may be.
All you need, literally, all you need. Okay, so 5 across here. Let's just act like 5, 4, 3, 2. Normally let the 1 go. Okay, shout out to Wheezy and also special teams. So 5s are on the inside, and then you work out towards the 1s. It's normally the 1s are free. They become safeties. They drop back. 2s are the ones that are normally hunting, and then these 3 are kind of just let's play it. Kicker's job is to maintain triangle with wherever ball is. But it's you can't have 1s just be the safety, because if they're all lined up at the same time, you could just take that fucker right at the 1 all of a sudden. It's going to change the history of rules, because people hide who the 1s are. And the 1s are just the safeties, but they're always considered the 1. So finding the 1, the 1 is at the 4. Now our count is different. So then it's 2, 3, 4, 1, 5 is how it goes whenever it comes to blocking. So I'll be excited to see where they put who's doing what. who they designate as like safety players, because you might want some size. Like you might want like a couple mics that are kind of sitting back, two gapping. You might want full speed so that you can maybe beat them off the line through the setup zone. It's like there's so many more things that are valuable. Like that first 10, all of a sudden very important here.
For sure.
Whenever you're 5 yards away from the person who's supposed to be blocking you. Like that first 10 now all of a sudden is a much more important stat than we've ever thought of it. And then they're going to take advantage. All you need, okay? All you need is for this fucking guy to go that way and this guy to go this way.
Yep.
And that is a fucking touchdown. That is... All you need is two people next to each other to fuck up at the same time on the same play. That's every kickoff. That's why the kickoff is so electrifying. Because literally, this guy just got signed, okay, on Thursday. What's his name? 44. That's his name. We have no idea what the fuck this guy's name is.
He's a dog.
This guy just joined the team 2 weeks ago. He had never played special teams before. This guy, never in his life. And they just accidentally, opposite ways, opposite leverage, we're gone. Like that is with a 4.2 40 runner with the ball. It's like gone. Like that is very feasible to happen. Like anytime, 1,500 more plays. That's what they're saying. I mean, you're talking about I'm not going to say like 100 touches, but
a lot.
There's going to be a lot of touchdowns.
There's going to be a lot.
Especially early. Don't you think it's going to be? I'm interested to watch how it goes from like the first 4 games this season to the last 4. Like how it morphs and how different, and how much better I think the coverage teams become.
And I think, like, amen, getting better. What's new strategy? Throwbacks. I mean, they kick it over here. Sweet, we're going to throw
fake
it back
reverses
over here.
all the time. They do everything. Try to get a wall return set up.
Yeah, and you can bring this fucker. You can loop. I mean, if you know the ball.
Are they going to set up like D-line stunts, kind of like that? Like,
so there is crosses. I mean, like these normally you can get like this person's blocking the 2. So they'll like peel, but I don't think you're allowed to even do that. I think they're
you can't
the
cross
opposite
block.
sides of the opposite sides of the field. That used to be like this person would take out the 2, and it was a fucking was a blind side.
Yeah, massive hit.
Murder.
Yeah,
it was a kill, or it was a complete miss, and this person's scot free. Like Slater's like at the 2. That's where you put your gunners at. They are going. They have a green light to go normally. Now you might move your 2 in if they got a good read on who it is, or you can't get any separation. But it's like they're going to figure out how to take advantage of this rule. You know, every special teams coordinator that is worth a grain of salt will certainly put their stamp on this. But I think it is going to be good for football. But what a fucking weird setup.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's a weird thing that they're going to have to show on TV.
It's going to take time to get used to. Like the first couple weeks it's just going to look so fucking weird seeing that every kickoff.
I had real mental problems when I was doing a punt after a safety. I felt so weird because like I'm doing a fake snap to myself, which I do in practice. Yeah. But you're just standing there in an open stadium, pretty much like, okay.
And no line.
It's like kind of weird. It's like a weird thing. Well, I couldn't even imagine how this is gonna.
Yeah.
That's so weird.
Just spider cams are really cool though.
What's that?
The spider cams will look really cool with this.
The sky cam? Yeah, up behind it.
Yeah.
You're right though. I don't want Boz kicking off.
No way.
I mean, Boz is not known to be a big time hitter, even though he's a Texas boy and hits the hell out of a football.
Yeah, but he's shaped just like Tucker is, and
And all you need is a guy blocking you. You don't even need to make the tackle. You just need somebody to come block you. That was whenever I felt real complimented. When people were coming to block me, that was cool. That was a cool day. That was a really cool day.
What's sweet with this too is like how it could change. Like let's say you're playing a team and it's like, okay, these guys have all speed on their kickoff team, and usually we go all speed, but this week we're gonna put 4 linemen. We're gonna put 4 linemen, our fullback, and 3 of our linebackers out there, and let's see, because then you would have to change it, right? Like,
could you imagine just like first kickoff against the Miami Dolphins? They have their special teamers in there. All right, we got a good read on what they're doing. Then all of a sudden they just drop Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle in the back. All of a sudden it's a whole new fucking. We are in a different time than we were in the first quarter. Real quick, you know, like so many of those. It's going to be good. I bet you Roger Goodell feels
it's going to be awesome.
Very good about kind of forcing this to happen.
Yeah,
seemingly. Now XFL obviously deserves a lot of credit because they were the first ones to take a drill from practice, put it in the game, and it's all their data and analytics that were used to get this passed to keep the play in football. So congrats to Ben, I believe is his name, from Stanford, who's former football player, rules expert for the XFL. But like the more we hear special teams coordinators talk about it, the more we're going to be like, oh, there's a lot of possibilities here.
Ton.
There's a lot. And these special teams coordinators will smoke meth and any upper they can to stay up all night to try to figure out what the best plan of attack is for this particular setup. That is literally how they go about their business. That's how they keep their jobs. And what's this here? This is the last kickoff return for the Colts.
Oh, man.
Yeah, shot out of the cannon. That was a good day. He played for the Texans too before then, so it was obviously a big thing for him.
Last one.
I don't know why that's the last.
The last kickoff return ever was actually the Patriots against the Bills in Week 18 last year.
That's probably the Colts.
Oh,
last
no,
one.
they had 2, right?
What is it?
We were in LA watching that.
He said that this would be the closest to the coverage team, all be on the same level.
Who said that?
Coach Chuck.
Oh, Coach Chuck Pagano sent this in? Oh, yeah.
Like
well,
the
this
point of
is
attack
for
up
Chuck,
there?
we just scored. I mean, this is against.
As you can see.
Yeah, go ahead and run that.
I was your coach.
Yeah,
I was your coach here.
Yeah, look at the score there, 16-14.
Yeah, see that?
Third quarter. Hey, Chuck, I like that.
All right, Chuck.
Hey, thank you, Chuck.
All right, Chuck.
Thank you, Chuck.
You see that?
Kareem, great teammate, great special teamer. He was on the Texans. I think he returned one, maybe against us for the Texans. He was a great returner. Not really talked about because I don't think he played as long. It is whenever you get a kickoff return, though, like the entire build, we're going to win a game.
Oh, yeah.
Stats normally, I think against the Green Bay Packers, we took the opening kickoff back to the house against you guys.
I believe so.
In Green Bay.
At Lambeau, yeah.
We were going to beat you.
Yep.
If you take a kickoff to the house, stats say throughout here, you're going to win the game. Like that is kind of, because I think momentum maybe isn't even justified into that. But if you take a kickoff to the fucking house.
Yeah, just the odds that go up. Yeah. It's like getting turnovers. You get one turnover, you get 2 turnovers. Oh, you got a good chance to win, all that stuff.
Bingo. I wonder what the new odds will be. Because I assume there's going to be games where both teams give up kickoff.
I was going to say, how many times do you think we'll see like back to back, like a team's house is won and then on the next kickoff? Like that
would be electrifying.
That'd be awesome.
Well, then they're just going to start kicking in the end zone and taking it to 30.
Yeah, true.
True. Depending on the odds, because he said there's a 3% difference.
Yeah.
3% is a very small percentage. Whenever you're thinking about the entirety of percentages on weighing a decision, pros and cons or whatever. But yeah, I will be excited to see which teams just decide, nah, we ain't got it.
What about the moving parts, though? A kickoff team, too, like your kickoff cover team a lot. Guys get dinged up. Guys get tired. Like you're constantly replacing, trying to put backups in, trying to like fill gaps and fill the 10 guys covering there, plus the kicker. Like, yeah, things are going to happen, man. Like there's going to be some spots where people don't have a ton of game reps, and they're going to be thrown in there and trying to figure it out.
Yeah, if that'll just be, hey, we need touchback, and there'll be less there'll be zero chance of them bringing it out of the end zone if you kick it into the end zone.
Yeah.
That'll be the heels will be on the goal line. Actually, heels on goal line here. If it goes in there, we'll take it at the 30. It's going to change the game.
Yeah, kicker gets hurt on the opening kickoff. All of a sudden, the other team's starting at the 40.
Kickers are going to get hurt.
Game.
No, kickers are good.
I don't want them to, but they're going to be involved in many more plays, as Tobe told us. Like, it's going to happen.
I just would like I think the good news about this crop of kickers, with how athletic they are,
be just fine.
These guys aren't going to have any embarrassing moments where you get shook in the middle of the field and Antonio Brown goes and,
Well,
you're not going to get Julian Edelman just to stick one and run right by you. You're not going to.
Kickers aren't going to get hurt because no one's getting hurt this year.
Well said.
That's a great way to end this thing.
Well said.
Thank you so much for that.
0.
I'm happy we're making that proclamation now, too. Because I think last year, whenever I said I was too close to the season, it didn't have a chance to really work its way in.
Settle in.
So you making that announcement here on May 31st. Universe Bowl? That's a lot of pressure. Oh, no. What's that?
That's
Hold on, bonus ball
coming back.
Yep, that thing's coming right back.
No one's still getting hurt.
Fish on. Yes.
One person's getting hurt.
You got a polo on.
There it is.
2 people are getting hurt.
That's the
Just
W
like
balls.
hammy.
This is the
Like
first. This is
soft
the first
tissue.
one.
Oh, bonus ball.
A couple broken arms, ACLs.
No. These are all bone bruises.
Ooh.
Boom.
Okay. Too jacked up.
Oh, no.
Bonus ball. Perfect.
Yep.
Meant to be.
Beautiful.
No injuries.
Boom. Bam.
Okay.
No injuries.
0.
And at the most 5.
Holy shit.
Nope.
Just
I
minor
felt-
injuries.
I felt the weight of the league.
Yeah.
Well, take it off because you did it.
We did it.
Hell yeah.
What a week.
What a week.
It's about to get real good.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Ain't that right, AJ?
I tell you what, I'm pretty excited for this soccer tournament coming up. I'm not going to lie. Is it field turf or is it grass?
Grass.
Beautiful grass.
From what we've
You
been
guys
told.
you only play on grass, right? I know the real pros only play on grass.
Well, I think that was something that was said about Methie, but then Methie said that wasn't true. I'll play on turf, whatever the need is. But yes, soccer, footy normally played on grass. Remember, all the NFL stadiums say, this turf's not good for the soccer players.
No.
The grass we play on out there is terrible.
The worst.
So I'm excited to get on a flat field.
Mm-hmm.
Every time I go to run, I'm like, I'm going to roll my...
Yeah, you got to look down.
Yeah, I'm going down into a hill, and dig it.
Yesterday was by far the best day. It was. I'm not going to give away our strategy because we're not going to do that. But very game-like out there yesterday. I cannot express that enough.
Confidence is rising, okay? With where I still know there's a chance that any muscle in my body could get torn.
Sure.
Any ligament could potentially
That's
snap.
any day.
There's a chance that could happen. And my lungs can certainly get blowed up. There's a chance that. But what's happening with ball and foot right now, feet, shall I say, even with the left one getting in, I did not expect to happen. So much so that I actually thought to myself, I haven't played soccer a long time, but I did kick balls a long time. Did I maybe get better with ball because profession was kicking a ball that is tough? Yeah. It's a tough ball.
Yeah.
Ball is tough. Small sweet spot. So you got to find, ball's moving where I want it to go right now. Pretty good. Yesterday was a fun day. It was an enlightening day, I think, for both Gumpy and I. It was also third straight day of me hitting balls. So able to
continue. Yeah, your body's holding up.
Bingo. Now, I'm not doing a warm-up that this Concave soccer club's going to do.
No. Don't even mess with it.
I am not. I will be watching them do their fucking...
Yep. Get out there and go
You guys
when the
have
whistle
stretch lines
blows.
or-
Bingo.
That's why we got a deep roster.
Dude, it's 20 folks, obviously.
So you got Eddie fucking Speed.
Yeah, Speed.
Rekshey, Eddie Speed. Zat, I guess, is a dog.
Zat Knight, yeah.
And Jeff Cameron is a monster. I mean, the team... a lot of people, and I heard JJ say, I didn't know anybody on your roster, so... It's soccer people know what we have here.
You fool.
And this was a strategy. Whenever the Tennessee Titans go on and move on from Vrabel, we think this team's got no strategy. They do. They've clearly put out what their strategy is. If you were to look at our roster and what leagues these guys played in, how they played, the style of soccer in which they played, there was real strategy put into place when building this particular team. We got a lot of guys that are used to smaller fields. Mm-hmm. We got guys that have a lot of quick touches. We got guys that can move, and we got guys that are in their primes, Now, granted, Rekshey, Jeff Cameron, they're like wine. They're only getting better.
Exactly.
Mikey Grella, obviously, Paisano is going to do his thing. Mike Foss might have 2 torn hamstrings. He's going to go out there and run the way he runs.
Yeah.
But what Foss, Grella, and Jeff Cameron put together here is a team that I think is going to do well in the 7-on-7 tournament that we are going to play in. And I'm lucky to be a part of it. All I'm looking for is a couple minutes a game. Yep. And I think we have gotten to the point training-wise where I'll be able to survive a couple minutes a game. And that's Concave Soccer Club soccer, baby.
That's what it is.
I'm pumped up about it. I'm excited to get down there too, AJ. I've heard the facility's really nice too.
When I've looked at the website a few times, I was thinking, man, this is a real professional operation.
So they have, I think, the NCAA championships there for a couple.
You all right?
Jesus Christ.
Ooh,
pal.
my bad. Yeah, I think I swallowed a bug.
June bug?
You swallowing cigars up there, dude? You inhaling cigars, dude?
No, I can't inhale them. No, I don't know what's going on.
He's excited.
Yeah, feel good. Hey, is Blocky in the RBC?
I don't think so.
Nah, he's out.
No, I don't think so.
Canada.
Memorial tournament's next week here in Columbus.
He'll be there.
You renting your house out?
Nah, I'll be in North Carolina.
That's the U.S. Open.
So you are renting your house out?
Right.
Nah, we're gonna be here.
The Hawks or
the kids, my wife, they're gonna most likely be here.
Not bad business plan for you though. In the past, you've made good amount of money off of that.
Nope, not at all. But
Oh, you hate?
we were out of town. No, I didn't hate anything about it. But yeah, I mean it was.
The cleaning
I
fees
hated
were.
it.
Yeah.
I know some people that are renting their house out though, coming up this year.
Good business. We had a guy who had a big field. He also had a cat, I think, but he had a big field next to the Oakmont Country Club there in Pittsburgh. and he would just sell parking whenever the tournament would come through there, and he made a lot of money. Like he would bank off of people parking in his field. Is the house rental similar for these golf tournaments or no?
The houses on the course, so they used to be even bigger and get more money, but house on the course will rent their house to big like companies. Company comes in, puts plastic down, covers things up, and then they run the house for the whole week. And the family moves out. Those people make some cash. Yeah.
Okay, sweet. You can probably upcharge those companies. You want blackout in our house all weekend?
Yeah, exactly. Put plastic
for real.
down.
No
What
fun
else
or
they
no?
doing?
General Bob Carpenter's coming through here, just like he's coming through the neighbor's house, and the next one.
Yeah.
And
We
the
used to
next
go in college. Yeah, and we were in college. We used to go in those houses.
Hide the paint.
Well, that was back when Ohio State was paying players in different ways on golf courses.
I didn't get paid. No, I was just going and scrounging up drinks from different
Paid in beers.
Oh, okay. I like that. That's Ohio.
Yeah.
That's Ohio's finest. Did you see the Pandas coming back to America?
Yep, we got them coming home. Where they belong.
Sons of bitches.
Two of them
It's not
coming
our
back. This is a big deal. All pandas were going to be gone from the United States, zoos and everything. Two of them coming back to D.C., which we are pumped about.
Washington, D.C.
Now, it's not the two older pandas that have been living there and getting shipped back because the lease had been done from China. We got two young ones coming back to America, Bao Li and King Bao. Okay, and
They look like demons, don't they?
King Bao's a dog.
They look like fucking demons.
No, they don't. They look like panda bears, and we're all thankful that the panda is coming back to the United States of America, because there was a time there where no kids in the United States of America were going to be able to go to the local zoo and see a panda bear.
And that's bullshit.
I don't want to live in that America.
Can we change their names?
What does that translate to?
Green and treasure and energetic. So a lot of treasure going on. That's the bow part of this entire
Yeah, probably what they're after.
booty.
Yeah.
You think the pandas are coming in to steal our booty?
Of all the
They're not
places.
pirates.
Did you guys know D.C. had the most famous zoo in America?
Yeah, what's
I
going
didn't.
on?
I thought it was in San
Me either.
Diego. So why the fuck are they going to our nation's capital?
Well,
in an election year.
You're right. I don't know what King Bao and Bao
Are these
are up to.
pandas felons too?
Look at that. Is that their parents shipping them off?
No, that is not King Bao.
That must be them. Okay, go fulfill your destiny and assassinate the president, Panda.
No, that is not going to happen.
I don't know.
That is not going to happen.
Can't confirm or deny.
These pandas are going to roll around and eat bamboo.
I hope.
That's what they're going to do in D.C. And they're going to make kids that go to the zoo go, I'm happy to know that animal exists. These are the only two in the United States of America.
Kids.
Yeah, kids going to the zoo.
Fucking Joe's
Is
going.
that really going to be the only two?
That's
Real?
why they're bringing them back.
Only two in America. Remember the last
pandas in here, man.
the last two were gone. They were shipped out I think this week. It's ending the lease that we have.
Why don't we start breeding them? Let's start breeding them here.
Because you can't breed them. You got to make them in
Who
a
made
lab.
that rule? Who made that rule?
China owns all these pandas. This is real.
So let's get one or two pandas we own and let's make a bunch.
See, that would be impossible because you see the pandas are owned by China.
We own these ones.
This doesn't make sense.
I looked it up, and the Smithsonian National Zoological Park is one of the top in the nation.
One of the top.
One of.
Indianapolis, obviously, number one.
I don't think so.
They got Jubilation coming up, brother.
Yeah, they do.
Jubilation's fun.
I went to
Zubaru's
the
fun.
Indy Zoo on Memorial Day. It's a good zoo.
It is a great zoo.
It is.
How about the chimpanzees?
It's awesome. And they have them out. They're just fucking walking in the cages and just sitting there and just staring at people as you're going through the park. It was great.
The wife said Mackenzie walked up to the chimpanzee exhibit. Chimpanzee walked right up to my daughter, Mackenzie, had a moment, and then just kind of walked away.
Oh, yeah.
I would like to know what they each said. Like, is that chimpanzee saying, I would like to eat that kid? Or are they saying, oh, that's one of us? And what was Mackenzie thinking back to the chimpanzee? I think the Indianapolis Zoo is on the,
I agree.
I think it's going, I think they got a lot of money.
Wait till it's the dead heat of summer and those rhinos look like boulders because they don't fucking give them water or wash them.
They give them water. They tranquilize the shit out of them every single morning.
The last
That's why
time I
they
was
look
there,
like that.
they had fucking wildebeest in there, and they had this much water in the entire.
They drank the water.
It was
Speaking of
puddle.
wildebeest,
It was
thank you
puddle.
for the transition.
Puddle
Super pigs are coming from Canada. So Canada gives us Canadian geese, which we all hate. Not allowed to touch them, by the way. They are protected. Now, Canada's sending super pigs in the United States of America. The border conversation has been one that's been happening everywhere. If this isn't a reason to fucking border up our northern border to Canada, I don't know what it is. They're saying these things are the size of horses.
Yeah, 600 pounds.
Aggressive.
Yeah. What?
Violent.
680 pounds.
Yeah.
Gizmodo's never missed.
Oh, okay. We're gonna say Gizmodo.
You
made
think
this
they're
up?
the only ones? The Super Pigs have been called for the last couple of years, making their way to America. I don't know if they're on some Super Pig pilgrimage, but everybody's saying these fuckers are making their way into our towns. We need to keep an eye out, and I think there should be a rule, just like coyotes, okay, in the United States of America. You're allowed to hunt a coyote anytime you want.
See one, shoot one.
You can kill. We need a Super Pig green light around the United States of America for these fucking assholes, because these things will reproduce. Down in Louisiana, they got hog issues because those things are fucking like rabbits. And then
could you imagine the fat stacks of bacon though you get off those things? Oh.
Super Pig bacon.
Yeah, but Canadian bacon stinks.
You're right. You're right. Ham is.
Yeah, it's not good. There's no way it's good. They're going to be shooting these things from helicopters like they do in Texas.
No, what we could do is we could build a wall on our border.
Well, I think the Super Pigs could potentially lead to us doing that,
Scale
especially on the northern side.
Yeah,
especially on the northern side.
Why don't we just set up a bunch of turrets at the border, like every 50 yards, with some beacons, some night vision, some thermal technology. And
Sounds cheap.
We should fucking take Canada back. And then there are Super Pigs.
We never had it. And Super Pigs would not be a reason why we would want Canada.
No.
Yeah. Maybe Putin.
Okay. Yeah.
Maybe
Tim Hortons.
King Timmy Hortons.
Good.
Smooth cream.
Smooth cream is pretty good.
Black Tiger.
No, the
Tiger.
Tiger.
Smooth cream is their peanut butter. Yeah.
delicious.
That's right.
It's so good.
It is very good.
Labatt Blue.
Bad Blue, Molson Triple X.
Those cool
Triple X,
guys in the red on horses.
Fucking Mounties.
Mounties, yeah, that would be a reason.
Loonies and Toonies.
Hockey, lacrosse,
Yeah, we get Whistler.
curling,
Curling, we already
100%
have.
maple syrup.
pond hockey.
Yeah.
Letterkenny.
Oh yes.
Comes our show.
Evergreens.
Who's that? There's a bench.
Shorzy?
Shorzy, there it is.
Yep.
Johnny Bench.
There's not enough pines.
Johnny
where I
Bench
live,
is an
so-
American, you son of a bitch.
He was
a
the
great
greatest
catcher.
catcher of all time, yeah.
Yeah, I know. I agree.
Actually, Mike Piazza's number one.
Well, him and Benito Santiago. My bad. Sorry, Benito. But yeah.
And Pudge.
Pudge is pretty good.
Pudge.
And
Pudge-
Jason
actually, right,
fucking
Pudge as well.
Kendall.
Jason
Sorry.
Kendall.
You're right, Pudge.
Jason Veritek
Kendall. There's a lot of
as
great
well.
ones.
Fucking
Well,
Jorge Posada.
Veritek, Mike Pizza.
When you're talking best catcher of all time, you're talking one man
Joe
and
Mauer.
one man alone. That's Jason Kendall, brother.
Signed.
Biggest chaws you've ever seen.
And he goes gloveless on the bats. That's Jason Kendall baseball.
I think Jared Jones might chew.
Might.
I think Paul Skenes and that whole crew, they might go like quadruple lip pillows while they're out there.
Yeah, noses too.
Maybe that's
Noses?
old
Is
school.
that what the kids
That's
are doing?
old school, right?
Oh,
You-
yeah. Snuff.
There's no way you've
Done snuff before?
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Definitely not.
Isn't that like from the 1900s?
I mean, yeah, but when you have block scheduling in high school and your freshman year, you have woodworking and it fucking sucks and you're sick and tired of making a birdhouse, you might sneak into the bathroom and
freshman year
snuff it up.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Who's got the snuff, boys? And then pass that around, boom, you go in and you put a thick coat of lacquer on your birdhouse.
Yep.
We're not recommending this to anyone.
No, of course
We're just
not.
saying this is factual stories.
Might stop on my way home, though.
No.
I don't
Get
even
some
know if you
fucking
can find it
buglers.
anymore.
Now is not the time, boys. Now is
Bugles?
not the time.
Yeah.
I love bugles.
No, buglers. They roll your own six. I like bugles too.
You meant bugles that snack. You meant bugles.
I
Yeah.
love bugles. Yeah, the little
The
cones.
corn
I don't
snack.
see them too much. I don't see them around that much.
They're out there. I mean, every gas station I walk into, nacho cheese one's good. Pizza, I think there's a pizza. one.
Yep.
Pizza's a good one. You know, the rich cheese cracker's better than the peanut butter.
I agree.
The
For
small
sure.
ones.
Yeah. And those are harder to find than the peanut butter one.
I agree.
The
I
rich
don't know
peanut.
about that. Do you like the orange ones?
You don't know shit.
Yeah, the rich cheese. Yeah, rich
Are we talking
cheese.
small
Yeah,
ones?
I like the peanut butter. Yeah,
Not
I'm a
the-
peanut butter guy. Yeah,
I'm a peanut butter guy as well, but I think the rich cheese one does not have as much representation as it should in the conversation and in the store. I like the cheese one. Club crackers are the best.
Oh
crackers
yeah.
are delicious.
Oh yeah. Love saltines as well.
Saltines are legit.
Ritz
Put some
crackers
peanut butter on
are also-
I am
saltines and
just
eat
a
them.
standard plain. Give me a plain Ritz.
They put so much
buttery-
salt
yeah,
on them and
buttery
so
salt.
much butter. They're
They
delicious.
can't be more buttery than club ones, though. Like,
Right.
I will eat a Ritz too. I don't like the packaging. I'm about fucking sick of that.
Packaging stinks.
Ritz
does.
or Club?
It does.
Ritz. Hey, the club Club's not bad, right?
Kind of both.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
no,
kinda-
they both kind of have the take off the top.
The
thing.
Ritz one sucks for sure.
Yeah.
Because the top 5 are getting destroyed.
Yeah, it crumpled to shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and we only have so many.
Right.
Oh, I love.
Club though is so good.
I
You-
love them.
Club.
I love them both.
Clover delicious.
Me too.
yeah.
Me too. Me too. Me too.
I'm a saltines guy. I'll be honest.
Well, you're.
You ever do that challenge of the saltine?
I have, yeah.
And we got through it.
Yeah. It sucks. It fucking sucks. You're speaking of wood. You're basically chewing on a birdhouse, but
I
it's
love
still
a good
good.
oyster.
You like
Oyster
it?
cracker.
Oh my god,
those
you're
are
right.
You're in
You're
those
right.
in Indiana?
Yep. I take it back.
Like Skyline Chili, they give them, they bring them out to your table.
Nothing to do with the ocean.
Yeah, they come in boxes.
They actually come in mud. I've actually gone and found oysters before. I just want to let you know that I've gone.
No, like the oysters that you put in like clam chowder.
Oh, I thought you were talking about actual oysters.
No. Just the
oyster
oyster
crackers.
Chicken noodle
Oh,
soup.
I'm not a
and-
big soup guy. I never got into this.
Yeah.
They're like saltines, but with 3D.
Yeah, like the little
big.
No, yeah, 3D
octagon.
saltine.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm changing my answer to that. Those
I
are my
will
favorite
dump
ones.
those in though. Those will certainly
Oh
add
yeah,
some
put those in
texture.
chicken noodle soup. Are you kidding me? That's amazing.
Yeah,
Clam chowder.
Like, it's like a
Some new pants.
A little
what's-
crunch in there.
Bing. What's the fried bread in salads? What are those?
Croutons.
That's like
Oh,
crouton.
I love croutons.
I'm a croutons
I
guy as well.
I used to just fucking eat that
A
shit.
little garlic bread.
Yeah.
That toasted garlic bread.
Yeah.
But the crouton for the soup is definitely the little oyster.
Yeah, I love oyster crackers. So you can eat those things just hand over fist. Doesn't even matter.
You know, cinnamon raisin bread with some good butter after being toasted.
So fucking good.
So good.
The wife, Samantha, she that's like a go-to at the house at night. It's like
Good snack.
This is good.
Cinnamon sugar bagels.
Sweet tooth.
Oh yeah.
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah. AJ hasn't had any of this.
No.
When are we gonna get to the grilled chicken?
What's your guys' favorite chicken?
I just don't like
seasoning?
raisins.
Mine's
The
nothing.
cinnamon sugar bread or
Raisin
cinnamon sugar
steak.
bagel is amazing. Cinnamon, I just don't want the raisins in there. I don't like that. You
I
know, I'm a
agree.
texture guy. You get that weird mushy texture involved. That just freaks me out.
I like raisins for some reason. I am a big texture person when I'm eating stuff. I don't mind the raisins.
Have you guys had cinnamon swirl bread? It is without the raisins.
What is it? Just an expanded version of
Good.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch?
Yes. Pretty much.
Kinda, yeah, basically, and it's
Yeah.
like it has like
Delicious.
swirls in it. It is
With
so
some butter.
fucking good.
Delicious.
CTC.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
I hate cereal. I don't like cereal.
Yeah, we know. We've learned a lot.
It
Cinnamon
sucks.
Toast Crunch is amazing.
Yeah, I've never heard a single person say I hate
Come on.
chicken nuggets or Cinnamon Toast Crunch. That's the thing.
It's true.
Hey, did you know?
Always good.
Do you know McDonald's is selling just I don't know baskets of
Yeah,
fries?
yeah. Did you know that?
I've been to McDonald's, no shit, probably 10,000 times in my life. There was one walkable. They created a dollar menu whenever I was very young. It was like, hey, here's meal. Like I had cereal and McDonald's. That was literally what I grew up on. I have never,
Ever.
in my entire life, seen a basket of fries
There it is.
show up from our new graphic designer, Derek D-Bone. has something
D-Bone.
called.
Yeah.
He
Good
just
train,
pulled the
D-Bone.
trigger this morning on a McDonald's order, and obviously you get judged in this office no matter what you order. You're going to get attacked. What Tone ordered today was maybe the greatest fry I've ever had in my life.
Holy hell.
So D-Bone heard about these fries. He was like, I can't wait to get some fries. Everybody enjoys McDonald's fries. Have you ever seen a basket of fries? I've never, because McDonald's has it figured out. They have the scooper of the fries
Goes right in.
that fits perfectly into the container of the fries. This is actually 3 extra large fries
It is.
in one basket, which is what D-Bone got today and ate every single one of them.
And the only reason we gave D-Bone shit is because right before he ordered McDonald's, he's like, I know I'm a big dude, but like I really don't like enjoy eating. I don't like eating. And then he spent like $80 on McDonald's literally 10 minutes later with the biggest basket of fries known to man.
4 fries, family fry in a basket for myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was quite a series of events, but I learned something about McDonald's today. I thought I fucking knew everything about
I
that
know.
place. I legitimately know.
I thought the portions were getting smaller. I thought they were trying to take that away from me.
Now, if you order the fucking basket, brother.
Yeah, I think that's a secret menu this guy has.
Yeah.
The D-Bone.
How do you even put that in a bag? You got to get a duffel bag to place that in. You can't put that in a normal bag.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, I think it was all by itself in its own paper bag. He pulled it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a nuclear football.
Yeah, it was. I'm like, what the fuck? I didn't.
I mean, they're good. They're crispy. They're good.
There was a Burger King operating down in the south side of Pittsburgh that wasn't actually a Burger King. They were just saying they were a Burger King. They stole the licensing, and they were just wrapping burgers that they were making, which similar meat,
Good for them.
flame
Good for
broiled.
them.
Yeah, it's smart.
They were
Sesame seed buns.
just kind of lying about it, and they were just
Yeah.
wrapping it in random wrappings. They didn't have Burger King stuff, obviously, so you get fries. It's just in a plain container, pretty much. And then it's just like, this is really burger. It's 2:30 anymore. Who gives a fuck? Wow, this flame broil. This is really good.
Tupperware.
I'm gonna get out of here. I thought that's what he ordered, like something from McDonald's, like a fake McDonald's.
Yeah.
Gave him this basket of fries. That's how alarmed I was when I saw it. They did look delicious.
They were.
God.
I had some.
He had what? Something from a gas station is what everybody
No,
said?
what
Pizza and Chicken Express.
Yeah.
Oh,
Those fries are fucking.
AJ,
Die for.
heard these fries from the other side of the Thunderdome as he was crunching into them. He'd had a chip pop, these French fries. So good. Crispier the fry, better for me.
Yeah.
Is how I
Big, nasty, mushy fries that they don't cook them enough. Absolutely not. I want nothing to do with it.
So the French call them steak frites, which is like the mashed potato fry.
Yeah, those stink.
Worst one. You know why?
Why?
Because there's mashed potatoes in there. The worst form of
That is a terrible argument.
Let's get to the weekend.
I'm with you.
That is a terrible argument.
Let's get to the weekend.
Terrible.
Happy we got here.
Yep.
Terrible argument. The shape, yes, stinks, but it being every fry is mashed potatoes in the.
Do you think that one had any mashed potato inside of that thing?
Anything from a gas station? Hey, I don't know what the fuck's in there.
What we're saying is we would eat the gas station French fries.
Is that
Pizza
supposed to
Chicken
be?
Express?
Yeah, because that's
Okay,
That's
yeah,
from the
that's
website.
what it looked like,
that's
right,
a
Tony?
bit misleading.
Yeah,
They're catfishing, folks, but it tastes better than it looks somehow.
Yeah,
comes on the wooden
I've
board and
never
all.
eaten in person there, so it doesn't look like that when it comes in the styrofoam.
I mean, you don't eat
but-
it on a cutting board every single
But the
time.
fries and the
That's what it looked
kind
like.
of looks similar, yeah.
The fries were so good.
They were
Chicken
hot.
looks good.
You do
It
get
is.
a gallon of gas for free, though.
Really?
Yeah,
I don't know if it's a gas station. It might be a food truck. We're not 100%
One
sure.
of the two.
Chicago Bears are on TV. They're Caleb Williams joyfully jogging down the field. Going to see a lot of that on Hard Knocks. That was a good piece of information this week.
He had a great set on Sunday.
Great news.
Today.
Did he?
Yeah, half our secondary was not there, though. Actually, our whole secondary.
What are they?
I don't know. They weren't there today.
Well, that's not good.
Oh, no.
Who's
that's a whole
going up
other-
against the twos?
Is everybody okay? Is Chicago's
Maybe it's a
culture?
team building thing. Team building trip, maybe.
Yeah, hey
For
Caleb,
defense.
go up against the backups. This will be good for you.
No, and also on the defensive side, fuck this. Let's go golf.
Let's go to Navy Pier.
Yeah.
What are
Let's go
they?
get on the Ferris wheel at Navy Pier.
They get a boat out there on the golden.
That'd be sick.
The golden. What's it called? The golden.
You talking about Gold Coast?
Yeah, the Gold Coast. There it is.
Australia.
Part of town.
No, Gold Coast is up in Chicago. It
Up in
is.
Lake Michigan,
It's
though.
beautiful.
Hey, it is.
Gorgeous.
Chicago in the summer, real deal.
not
It
aware.
plays.
Yeah,
I've heard of the greatness of Chicago in the summer. I was not aware of the Gold Coast.
yeah, the Gold Coast. There's like a beach there with like this incredible water, like big
really
beach.
nice.
And then they got a lot of fucking boats. Everybody's out there. Everything's
The
a
playpen.
walkable. You got. It's really
It gets
nice.
hot. It gets very humid in Chicago.
Yeah, thick.
Wind dies down.
Sometimes.
No, it
Chicago's
stays
a good
windy.
city. Chicago's a good city. I mean, you guys are going to fuck it up with the new stadium, but
No.
Still a nice
Same
city.
spot.
so what's going to happen?
They're just moving it down.
So it's not the same spot.
I have to
Well, yeah, but
bulldoze the museum to put a parking lot in.
I love that museum.
No,
the
it's
museum's
awesome.
not going anywhere.
That is a nice little setup there. You know, the museum, the zoo, I think, is up near there, the aquarium or whatever. the fuck.
Yeah.
The
Nice
aquarium's
little
there.
run.
The zoo is a little further down. Lincoln Park.
I don't think I've been to the zoo. Chicago Zoo good?
Yeah, we have two
Two
good
of 'em.
ones, Brookfield and
Should
Lincoln
be.
Park. Lincoln Park's really good.
You guys got any pandas?
Yeah,
No,
Feels like
you
you
don't.
You don't.
Nobody
That's a
does.
Yeah, you don't.
Oh, it might have been dogs. I don't know.
Easy.
Amen. Z.
Spray painted
Tell 'em,
dogs.
Z.
That's
Yeah.
not a funny joke.
Tell them. Yeah, they're
Say what I
pandas there. They're
saw.
not pandas, but we bill them as pandas.
Spray painted labs.
Let's get out of here, huh? Shall we? Hey, if you're going to any live event, you need to use our friends at SeatGeek. Use McAfee 30 to receive $30 off any tickets. There are some restrictions, obviously, and we would assume the restrictions that apply are if it's less than $30. MCAFEE 30 for $30 off any ticket that you buy from our friends at SeatGeek. Does not matter if you have shopped with SeatGeek before. Each ticket is rated on a scale of 1 to 10. So look for the green dots. Green means good. Red means bad. And by bad, they mean our AI has scanned the rest of the internet and all the ticketing bases and everything. You can get a much better ticket somewhere else. Green means, hey, this is a good ticket.
Hell yeah.
You'll never get catfish from our friends at SeatGeek. They're not trying to fuck you. No, they're just trying to make you have the best experience of your life at a live event.
Hell yeah.
You're alive but are you living? Go live and experience something live with our friends at SeatGeek. All right, let's get the hell out of here. Let's have a great weekend.
Hell yeah. Get outside.
Let's go outside. Let's get touch grass.
Yes.
Which we would recommend to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Get out there and touch a little grass. Breathe some air. Get some vitamin D because tomorrow rain might come and we never know if the sun might never show again.
That's
Let's take advantage of the moments we have and not just expect ones in the future whenever we'll be able to make something right or make something better or make something whole. Let's do that right now. Yeah. Let's get all the negative bullshits out of our life. Let's enjoy the hell out of this. Let's have an incredible weekend. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice that might change their life. We're in this thing together. Team on me. Team on three. 1, 2, 3. Goodbye.